If only time could just stop. It was impossible to determine the single greatest amount of your life until you were looking back on things from your deathbed, of course. But I was sure everyone had wished for something similar at least once. It was only human to wish for fun times to continue, to want to relive a moment of glory. It felt only human to wish to hang on to the here and now. Even should its brilliance eventually fade, that still beat losing it. The known was comforting, the unknown terrifying. Everyone must have experienced this sort of anxiety before, especially students like me. It was hardly unusual to experience this sort of feeling. After all, we were at the part of our lives where we had to start thinking about college, getting a job, and just the future in general. We were in the uneasy transition period between childhood and adulthood, so it felt only natural we'd start obsessing with the mundane. One could call it living in the moment, a kind of escapism that arose when you didn't have both feet on the ground. For better or worse, it was the sort of infection that didn't really do anyone any harm. You could just write it off as another facet of youth. But I didn't want to ever get over this particular strain of measles myself. After all, my life up to this point had been more than comfortable. It might have been a boring, commonplace one, but I was fine with it continuing that way forever. If time flew when you were having fun, then the solution was simply not to have fun in the first place. That's a really dark way of looking at it. It was best to steer away from the unknown and stick to the default path. Who knew what sort of trouble you might encounter on the road less traveled by? I was enamored enough of my current environment to actually entertain more than just entertain. In fact, ridiculous notions like that. To turn one's back on the unknown and seek only the known, you could describe it as playing a game while looking at a walkthrough. That was my Ren Fuji's way of life. Ren Fuji's. Okay, well, we finally have a character's name that's not ridiculous. Like, Lionheart felt to Smiths or something. Like, everybody's name up to this point has been really ridiculous or semi-ridiculous. Except for the soldiers that died, essentially. Always had been, and hopefully always would be. I figured that I could keep my internal sense of time set on slow if I kept up this line of thinking. Stopping time completely was impossible after all, so you could consider this philosophy of mine to be a kind of compromise, a closest possible realistic approach. I thought that I understood that nothing lasted forever, that something being finite meant that its end could come at any time.
例えば自分の人生を小説だと考えてみろ。
Up until the day where he had to go and say that.
漫画でもゲームでも何でもいいが、とにかく一人称語りで進む長編だ。自分をその主人公だと考えろ。
A story that continues from the cradle to the grave, an epic saga that details each and every event and person that comes into your life from the minute to the monumental. From the minute to the monumental. Think of life as something like that, he
そ
said.
こで質問。今自分が綴ってる小説は実際のとこ面白いのか？主人公として お前はキャラが立ってるのか？
As far back as I could remember, Shido had a habit of suddenly going on and on about shit that didn't make sense like this. Most of the time, it was just to try and get a rise out of me.
文法が怪しいとか語彙が
Or you
貧
could
弱
just
だ
say
と
he's
か
trolling.
そういうスキルのこと言ってんじゃない。ただドラマとして売りになりそうな花なりトゲなり毒なりを持っているか？さらに同じジャンルを囲った中でも抜きん出ている何かがあるか？自分がやらなくても他の誰かがやるような人生なら生き続ける意味はない。こんなところやそんなところで誰でもできるようなジャンルやっててもしゃあないだろ。スレとラベってバカやって女作ったり部活やったり悪くはないけど珍しくもない。そんなの日本中の同年代がリアルタイムで経験してる。俺は別
So
に
what exactly are
数が多いことを
you
バカにしてるわけじゃ
experiencing,
ないぜ。
Shido?
要はそれだけ選びやすい道だってことを言いたいのさ。選択肢があるように見せかけて実は人生一本道なのかもしれないってな。
Yo, for real. I am really feeling some type of way about the fact that the text box is covering the entire screen. I'm so upset. I like this game, but that's the only thing that's irritating me about this game is that the chat box, or I keep calling it the chat box, the text box is covering the entire screen. Okay, anyway. In other words, what if we're not choosing, but instead being made
少
to
なくともこ
choose?
の国じゃ最大公約数が強いだろ。
This man said
出る杭
has
は
a
打たれ
hard
る。
on.
天才は孤独。はぶられるバカ。いじめかっこ悪い。なんでもいいがよ。まあそれは現実的な解釈で理屈つけた場合の話で。俺はなんて言うかな。デジャブるんだよ。これ前にもやったんじゃねえのかなって。楽しくないんだ。新鮮味がない。前にも読んだことある気がするんだ。この話。
My help, huh?
フ
With
ラグ立
what?
てとフラグ折りさ。
Manipulating variables, huh? And what was
言
that
ってもわ
supposed
かん
to...
ねえかもしれねえな。だってお前好きだろそれ。何もかもが基地の範疇。1から10まで同じことを生まれて死ぬまで繰り返したい。そんな変人他に知らんし。そもそも俺の話に出てくるお前はなんかずれてるトリックスターみたいなもんなんだよ。
You could have said the same about him myself. Wait, I could have said the same about him myself. Shido was the sort of guy who was impossible to read, impossible to get a handle on. He certainly wasn't the type of character who should have been appearing in my story. So why did it sometimes feel like he was a central figure in it? If we were going with the whole novel analogy, Shido was a misprint. Damn! Yo, he said you shouldn't even be here right now. You were a mistake.
そんなお前をここでどかせば話が変わってくるかもしれない。な顔すんなよ。お前だってわかるだろ。俺らはお互いガキの頃にいろんなもんから弾かれてる。本来なら気楽に学園ドラマやってられるような身分じゃないんだ。そしてだからこそ今までそれをやってきた。なのにデジャブが止まらない。挫折もんだよ。泣きたくなる。だから根性なくて悪いけどよ。俺は抜けるぜ。人生は短い。エンディングが来る前に選択肢の総当たりをやらせてくれ。この一本道、絶対どこかに別ルートがあるはずだ。俺はそれを探したい。結果がたとえ
Even if it leads you
バッ
straight
ドエ
off
ンド
a
一直
cliff?
線でも。
Well, I mean, you're a misprint, so I mean, if you just went off a cliff, you know, then I won't have to write you in my story anymore. If it's something new, then it's worth checking out
だ
either
ったら
way.
ここでお前と切れるってのも なかなか面白いと思うだろ
I had gotten sick of that grin on his face long ago. It was the sort of expression that seemed to say he had nary a care in the... Who says that? Fitting, really? That was how I knew that nothing I said would get through to him. Not like I knew what he was going on about in the first place, really. But one thing was for certain, Shido's genre, or whatever, was about to diverge completely from
死ん
my
だら
own.
化けて出てくれよ
Haunt you? You're a misprint. Why should I haunt a misprint?
俺まだ幽霊見たことねえし
So I was prepared for what came next. I'm ODing on this guy calling him a misprint. Fist fights normally can't go too far. After all, you'd be using your actual hands and feet as weapons. If they got fucked up, you were done. It only made sense to call it a draw when you ran out of ammo, so to speak. But Shido and I were a little too stupid to let something like that stop us. You couldn't even call it a fight. We were both just trying to obliterate each other, plain and simple. There was enough blood pouring down my face to make it seem like I was viewing the world through a red veil. We smacked each other around so much that our hands themselves broke. We even had bones poking out of our but we just kept at it. My eardrums had shattered long ago. I was lost in a world of noise and violence. What the hell is going on, dude? What? Yo, what the hell? My shoulder had dislocated itself. My chin had split in... Oh, God, what the hell? What if my ribs were bent and broken, piercing furious internal organs for good measure? Oh, dude, this is getting graphic. Oh, my gosh. Oh, this went... Yo, what? This went hella bloody and with no warning at all. Here I was hacking up blood like it was going out of style, but Shido seemed to be having the time of his life. I couldn't focus on anything but the way he exploded with laughter. Why did it end up like this? Why did he need to take it this far?
言ってもわかんねえって
Dude, what? This is not even necessary. Oh, well, I mean, life is boring. We have to put some spice in there or whatever. And now you're just beating the living crap out of each other to the point where you guys aren't even recognizable because you're so covered in blood. That's so unnecessary.
ただこの町に住んでいたら
I couldn't remember what he said after that, no matter how hard I tried. All I knew was that we continued brutalizing each other until our bodies ceased to function. It wasn't a matter of one of us deciding to surrender or passing out or whatever. We just quite literally ran out of batteries. We had both taken too much abuse to keep our bodies going with sheer willpower alone. Did I just accidentally skip text? Whoopsie. How much did I skip? It wasn't a matter of one of us, it is a matter of one of us deciding to surrender or passing out or whatever. Damn, dude. It was no laughing matter. Our battered bodies were just lying there on the rooftop, drowning in a pool of our own blood. We probably would have died if no one had found us, but what did Shido say? Dude, this is absolutely unnecessary. That sure was fun, huh? Seriously, how the fuck could he act like that? Was just some sort of oh my gosh, this sentence this sounds really weird. Listen to me,
こっちに
dumbass.
来たけりゃいつでも言えよ
dude, ain't nobody going after nobody. You guys are like dead or near dead. Don't act like you've triumphed over me. Like you've gone on to the next level or whatever. Instead of triumphed, you could have just said won. Like, I'm going to start saying, like, substitute words that they could have put here instead of the words that they put. Because I feel like this game is just using a bunch of big words for no reason at all. Me come at you? Give me a fucking break. You're the one who needs to crawl out of the gutter and come at me, shithead. Wow. Alright. Oh my gosh! They did it! The chat box is on the bottom of the screen! Yes! I love it! I love it! Oh my gosh! This game just got a billion times better to me. Oh, left cheekbones, upper jawbone, lower jawbone, right eye fundus, I don't know what the hell that is, nasal bones, all varying degrees of fractured? Yeah, okay. Left collarbone completely fractured, upper left carpus and middle left hand bones completely fractured, right shoulder dislocated, right ulna, metacarpus and carpal bones completely fractured, ribs 3 and 4 of the right rib cage completely fractured, ribs 5 and 6 of the right rib cage compound fractures. Yo, this is quite a list, man. Ribs 4 through 6 of the left rib cage completely fractured, ribs 7 and 8 of the left rib cage compound fractures. Yo, at what point did you guys think, well, maybe I should stop? At what point did you guys think this? Actually, they just never... This never appeared to them, apparently, because they're literally just beat the crap out. Can they even walk? Right femur, partially fractured. Right tibia, left fibula, both metatarsal. Yo. Yo. Completely fractured, not to mention all the various sprains, bruises, cuts, and lacerations. In total, I had damage 48 distinct locations. If you listed it out like that, it sounded like I got in a fight with a dump truck or something. I was surprised I even made it to the hospital in one piece. I mean, if you can call that One Piece. Yo, saying One Piece just reminded me of the anime One Piece. But you definitely sure as hell are not in One Piece, bro. To be honest, though, I would have been okay with dying. Yeah, maybe you should have just died. But then if you died, then this story wouldn't have happened, most likely. It wasn't that I had no regrets. I had just kind of reached this zen state. Like, if I was gonna die, so be it. Well, the thing is, right? You got your ass handed to you by a misprint. Just think about that. Maybe it would be better to say that I just stopped caring. That fight had been enough excitement for one lifetime. If that's excitement, I don't want to have excitement for the rest of my life. Like 40, like what was it again? 48 distinct locations or whatever. 48 distinct locations in total you damaged. Not to mention all the damn fractures that you just listed. I lost the will to do anything, barely paying attention to the world around me. I stopped giving a shit about myself either way. Despite my rather unhealthy mental state, bro, your mental state was unhealthy way before all this happened. Let's be real. You're talking about, I'm not gonna have fun for the rest of my life until I die just so time can feel slower. I mean, Bro, you already had issues. My body recovered quickly enough to shock even the doctors attending me. More than a little ironic. Honestly, there was a part of me that wanted to laze around in a hospital a little longer. More issues. Unless you got problems at home, which I'm assuming there are. Everything you're saying is a mental issue right now. But I suppose there simply weren't enough beds to keep someone fully recovered lying around forever. Well, how long has it been since he recovered? The hospital staff told me that I needed to get out of there if I was well enough to be walking around. I really had no choice in the matter. I wasn't a fan of the idea of someone who actually needed care being turned away because of my selfishness. It was for the best that I complied with the staff's request. Regardless of my feelings, the world would keep on turning. They said that time stopped for no man after all. No turning back. What was done was done. Right now, the important thing was thinking about what would come next. Not having mental issues? Maybe you should start with that, right? It didn't matter whether or not I was capable of doing it. I had to face a fact that it was necessary, period. That was the only way I could ever be able to move forward. So I decided to walk out of there with a smile on my face one way or another. Yes! I love it! The chat box is on the bottom! I'm so happy! Like, this is really weird thing to be happy about. Like, I don't know if this annoyed anybody else to have the text box taking up the entire screen, but this is so good having this down here. Oh, I'm so happy. Now, actually, I think at some point, if they kept doing that I feel like I would have stopped playing this game. That's how annoyed I was at that thing covering up the whole screen. I headed back to my room to pick up my things after taking care of the checkout procedure. Of course, the only real personal effects I had brought with me were some changes of clothes and an MD player. The hell is an MD player? Is that their way of... I actually want to look this up now. Is this actually a thing? MD player. A mini disc player? I feel like this is like something you... What? A mini disc player? I didn't even know these existed. Huh. Well then, alright, well, I guess. I had spent 2 months in this hospital room, but I figured cleaning it up would probably only take around 5 minutes. Oops, forgot to click back on the window. Good job, me. It ended up taking 10, but hey, same difference. The extra 5 were a result of having to clean up all the junk that Kasumi brought in while visiting. Yo, who's Kasumi? I mean, Kasumi. Well, I guess Kasumi is the Japanese way you'd pronounce it. Who is that? That is the name that I love that name. Like, that is one of my favorite Japanese names, actually. There were various comics, novels, and even adult magazines. I seriously don't know what she was thinking with these scattered all over the place. More than a dozen in total. Rather than dealing with them myself, I decided to just send them all back to her place.
お大事に。いや、あいつは今頃学校ですよ。来るとうるさくなるんで、一足先に。って、そうですか？変な趣味してますね。
The other patients in the same room made sure to get in a few last lighthearted jabs. I was never good at dealing with situations like this. I doubt anyone would call me the sociable type, But thanks to Kasumi, the other patients would often strike up conversations with me. It would be awkward to just ignore them completely after all. My responses were always half-assed. Half-assed and mental issues galore, right? Hospitals generally had a gloomy atmosphere about them, so it was only natural that someone cheery like Kasumi would draw
ならあい
attention.
つの進路に看護師って選択も入れるように言っときますよ。
Interesting. I took my bag and turned to leave, but at that
白
moment...
ですか？
Yo, F the misprint, dude! Shiro, being just as messed up as I was, had also been taken to this hospital. The bastard disappeared 3 days after his surgery and hadn't been seen since. I thought it said been. That would have been interesting.
知らないですね。
Because I've seen
あいつがど
errors
こで
like
何
this
してよう
in
と、
I
俺に
think
は関係あり
Steins
ま
Gate.
せんよ。
They actually write the same word twice or whatever. Yeah, exactly. What Shiro was up to was none of my business. I needed to stop worrying about his
Yeah.
bullshit. Why are you worrying about a misprint, dude? These obviously doesn't matter. I stepped out of the hospital room, putting it all behind me once and for all. Yo, where's Kasumi? I need to know if she is gonna be that character for me. If she's gonna be my favorite character. I mean, the name is enough to get me, but I need to see the character, and then I need to see how she actually acts, and then we'll determine that for myself. It had been months since I had last been outside of the hospital. The vast blue sky spread out invitingly above me. In the 2 months I had been hospitalized, autumn had turned to winter. I suddenly became curious as to whether they were already putting up Christmas decorations
ま
downtown.
あ遠回りなわけでもないし。
I decided it might be fun to experience my own version of the whole Rip Van Winkle experience. I needed a change of pace from the dull scenery I had been stuck staring at from the hospital window anyway. Maybe this would help me get back into the swing of things. Swing of things.
って思ってたんだけどな。
Unfortunately, even downtown, there was but the barest trace of the Christmas spirit I had been expecting. It made me realize again just how laid back Suwahara City really was. Suwahara was built back around the time of World War II. Despite being an isolated location, it was nevertheless fairly prosperous thanks to the efforts on the part of the big shots in charge of the place. What Suwahara lacked in history and tradition, it made up for in tourist attractions. There were any number of facilities to draw in crowds with, such as an amusement park that was famous nationwide. You could call it a small town success story. Of course, I only moved there 2 years ago myself, so I wasn't really one to talk. I was definitely a fan of the landscape and general atmosphere of the city though. It seemed like a hectic place at first glance, but things moved slower in Suwahara than one might think. Once you got used to it, it was as relaxing as a baby's cradle. What was I about to say? Of course, most people would tell you the exact opposite, that Suwahara was a lively place with a bustling atmosphere. But I did know a few other people who agreed with my assessment, such as Himuro and Shiro. It wasn't like you could really say that either line of thinking was right or wrong though, and I didn't feel like trying to argue with people who disagreed. Live and let live, I guess. Anyway, my first foray into the city in 2 months didn't end up changing my impression of it much.
帰るか。
So you're going home your first day out of the hospital. I wonder how much money he has on him. In the end, I just came to the boring conclusion that it was the same city as ever. Right as I was about to head back... Oh, yes, I'm about to run into what could possibly be my favorite character. A piercing wail akin to the shrieking of a banshee rang out from behind me. So much for enjoying a quiet afternoon. It was at times like this that I questioned why I was even friends with this girl. No, I think the real question is, why is she friends with you? In the first place, who would consider it a good idea to start yelling someone's name in the middle of the street like that?
ちょっと声でかすぎ。
I don't know about that voice though. I don't know. Did she hit him?
元気かな？もう痛いとこない？
I don't know about that outfit. Oh, well, that outfit is definitely unique. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt because her name is Kasumi. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt for now. We're gonna give her a trial run, guys. I wanted nothing more than to tell her that yes, I was in a great deal of pain just now as she had just walloped me something good on the shoulder, but I settled for just giving her a dirty look. This was Kasumi Ayase, my childhood friend of the same age. She was the head of the kendo club. I feel like she's being stereotyped right now. Partially. Because, I don't know. I feel like when I see mostly like kendo or something like that, they're like short hair. I have seen some long hair though, so maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm thinking too much. As you can probably tell by this incident, she was rambunctious. Oh my god. Enough to have competed at the national level several times. And here she was giving me the same wide smile as usual. I supposed this sort of upbeat attitude was one of her strengths. What are you even doing here? Whoa, those eyes! Jeez!
悪いっていうか不自然だろ。
It was the middle of the day. Why wasn't she at school?
まあね。
なんで？
なんででしょう。
She obviously came out to see you, dude. Hell if I knew. I threw my hands up.
一刻も早くレンちゃんに会いたかったの。会いたかったの。
So let me get this straight, right? My spider sense is tingling. So he said what I want to say is quote, childhood friend. I don't know, this relationship seems kind of suspect, guys.
会いたかったの。
ああ、そうなの。
That's nice. I was glad to see that her stupidity was in full form again today.
お前。
Wow, that's rude as hell.
大丈夫よ。あんたよりは私日数足りてるし。
Wow, that was a good comeback. It's like, me get left back? Psh, I've missed less days than you. She said as she violently slapped me on the back. It hurt like a bitch.
まあそれはするとして、あんた何一人で勝手に帰ってんのよ。迎えに行くって私言ったの覚えてないわけ？
That face is quite interesting. Let me screenshot it.
いやそりゃ覚えてたけど
Oh my gosh, I pressed the wrong button. I wasn't exactly expecting her to skip school just to come pick me up, and it would have been a pain in the ass to wait around that long. I tried to explain my line of thinking, but Kasumi wasn't having
じ
any
ゃ
of
ああん
it.
た後で電話とかする気だったの？
I can say with 1,000% certainty he had no intentions of calling you. Definitely not.
っていうかお前の番号って何番だっけ？
What was your phone number again? Wow. You must be trying to get beat the hell up again.
これだから全くこの野郎はよ。何ですか？君は携帯使えないんすか？いつの時代の人ですか？着信履歴の見方すらわからんお人なのですか？
Does this dude even have a cell phone? Maybe it broke in his stupid near-death experience.
失礼だなそれくらいわかるぞ
じゃあ貸せこのクソ。
Kasumi snatched away my cell phone and began to tap away at lightning speed.
電話帳のトップに入れといたからね。消したら怒るぞ。つうか閉めるぞ。
Wait, she actually put herself at the top of his contacts list. What is this relationship? I don't know, this seems like borderline abusive. I'll be pissed if you delete me. Actually, I'll beat the crap out of you. Yeah, this is definitely
笑顔で
abusive.
言うなよところでこれなんだ愛の
あたし。
Did she just call herself like Venus with Oh, no wait. No
とり
wait.
あえず
Oh,
狂気のベル
I'm
セル
so
クに
glad.
変え
I
とくけど
I
な
clicked skip by mistake. That would have sucked ass. Venus with love. Well, I'll just change it to crazed berserker.
変えんな。っていうかそれ頭痛が痛いと同じレベルの重複表現。
So maybe she does have some intelligence.
それくらい強調したいんだよ
I wanted to
そもそも
emphasize
ヴィー
it.
ナス名乗るなら少しは女の子らしい言葉を使ってくれ
Facts.
誰が怒らせてると思ってんのよ。このバチ当たり。
Whose fault do you think it is that I'm acting so bitchy? Is he a pretty boy? I don't even know what he looks like.
私の手とかがっしり握って。ありがとうかすみ。君は僕の天使だよ。とかそういう感謝の一つや二つって。ほらこっち見る。
Yeah, she's pretty
あんたい
upset.
きなり大怪我して入院して。
Whoa!
私心配して毎日お見舞い行ったのに。当の本人は上の空で挙句勝手に退院してこんなところをプラプラしてるか。何様ですか。
Incoming screenshot. That face is
マジで
amazing.
すか。やる気あんのか。つうかやんのかこら。
You want a piece of me, bitch? Wow! This girl is
や
crazy.
る気も何も
Kasumi seriously needed to cool it before she popped a vein. She was the one acting unreasonable here. Well, I mean, it's partly reasonable because she visited you every day and you didn't even tell her you were leaving the hospital. I mean, that's not her, that's you, man. You remember the weird issues that we talked about previously, sir? This is one of them. You should have just called her, and then this wouldn't be happening. maybe she would calm down a bit if I actually did the whole my angel thing, but I really did not feel like going through with that.
そもそもあんたは
However, I did have just the thing to shut her up.
とりあえずお前が病室に持ち込んだ諸々は家の方に送っといたぞ。
はい
Wait, what?
捨てるわけにもいかないだろう。だから家に送ったんだよ。気が利くだろ。
ちょい待ちそれ全部
そう全部。
The comics, the books, and of course, the magazines full of naked Wait, what? Is she lesbian? Like, or did she just like looking at naked women randomly? Like, I'm confused here.
その待って待って家ってどっちの方よ
実家。
Yo, your mom's gonna find out you a lesbian.
冗談だよね
冗談は苦手だな。
マジで
マジだ。
Oh gosh, this game is screenshot madness. Oh, this game is screenshot gold. Oh my gosh. It would be a sad day indeed for Mrs. Ayase once she received that package and learned what exactly her daughter had been buying. Yo, you better intercept that package,
あ
girl.
んた最悪
Screenshot gold. Oh my god, this is
欲し
good.
かったのに
じゃあ買うなよ。
でもさ
What?
役に立った
Now that she mentioned it, the other patients in the room with me had been fans of those magazines. They didn't pester me while they were occupied with them, so I guess you could say I got use out of them after all.
そこそこ。
嘘本当にあんたそんなやつだったの
I had no idea you were that kind of girl. Another screenshot. Let's do this. Just keep them
こんなや
coming.
つだよ。
Keep them coming. Define that kind of guy. Oops.
ねえちょっと具体的にどの号の何ページが役に立ったの試しに言ってみなさいよ
Oh, wait, I get to pick? Oh, I get decisions. The SM stuff, the cosplay stuff, the jailbait stuff? I have no idea what S&M stuff is.
またまたこいつめ照れちゃって
Gold.
私は別にいいけどねレンがどんな趣味してたって
Nice, I actually get to say stuff. So, I have a feeling that's not really gonna affect the story that much, but maybe it will affect a future conversation with me and Kasumi when she buys me more magazines that I'm not going to read.
とにかく怪我が治ってよかったじゃない特にこことか
Hmm? She said poking my cheeks with her thumbs.
昨日まで大きい絆創膏してたから傷が残ってるのかと思ったよ
Yeah, I think I like Kasumi. I
これね。
think I like Kasumi. I think she's cool. Shiro had been wearing armor rings during our fight, so my cheeks were cut up to hell and back when I first entered the hospital. I didn't really care if it left scars or not myself, but Kasumi got so worked up over it while I was recovering that I kept my face covered with bandages just so she would shut up about it. Case in
せっかく
point,
綺麗な顔してるんだから傷が残ったらもったいないよね
but I'm curious about this relationship though. Is she like lesbian that she had magazines of naked women, or Is she like using that as reference for something? Or was she buying it for him? It seems like she was buying it for him based off of things that she was saying. There were a few things I disliked more than being told that my face looked pretty. Back when I was a kid, I used to get mistaken for a girl all the time. Unpleasant memories, to say the least. And even as a teenager, it still happened from time to time, despite the fact that I was hardly short or anything. Scouts trying to recruit female models have called out to me on the street on more than one occasion. Yo, can I see a pic of this man? Definitely the kind of thing that dealt a blow to your pride as a man. I decided to let Kasumi have a piece of my mind.
学校サボってそれだけ言いに来たのかお前は。
退院おめでとうって？
ああ、他に用がないなら帰るぞ俺は。
ああ、なにその言い方、可愛くないな。遊びたいなら遊びたいって言えばいいのに。
Define fun.
なんだそれ。
だからこのままデートとかしたくない？
I thought y'all child. This is exactly what I was talking about. Aren't you supposed to be childhood friends? What are you talking about?
全
Date?
然。
Hell no.
あ、いや、まあいいわよ。私もそんなつもりなかったし、上等だもん。帰ったらもう痛くも痒くもないんだもん。
I wasn't sure I understood what was going on inside Kasumi's head at that moment, but that was probably for the best.
後でレアさんに何か言われたら全部あんたのせいにするからね。
Rhea? Why? Wait. Did Rhea set something up between me and you, and if I don't do it, I'm gonna get bitched at? Is that what I'm understanding here?
何？
Huh? Why bring up Himuro here?
先輩がなんだって？
Oh, Rhea is a senpai, huh? Okay, so you guys are the same age and probably in the same, maybe in the same class. I'm not sure if you guys are in the same class, but you have a senpai.
だから命令されたの。藤井君とデートしてきなさいって。
I had a feeling it was something along those lines. The hell? What on earth was she
それ
thinking?
でお前はうなずいたわけ？
Of course she did.
そりゃだって断ったら怖いじゃない。
Is she that scary? I wouldn't describe Himoto as scary. Yeah, I had a feeling, which means she wanted to do it. I mean, she was a type that was a little hard to get a handle on, but
例
still.
のね。
レイは嫌なの？
Yo, her facial expressions are
嫌っ
classic.
てわけじゃないけどな。
Just that I didn't know where we'd even go. Like, just going to the amusement park with Kasumi didn't feel like anything special.
俺、大して金持ってないけど。
私もないわよ。
I was about to tell her that we should just forget about it, but Kasumi suddenly started fishing around in her bag.
でも大丈夫。先輩、その辺は卒のない人だから。
Damn, the setup! Did she give her money? No, she had to give her like tickets or something. Maybe movie tickets?
チケット2枚。準備万端でしょ。
I knew it was tickets. Oh, I'm good. It's all been arranged. Okay, so what kind of tickets are they? A local museum. Huh. Well, I think her thought process was if they go to a museum, then they would talk more because at a museum, well, if you go to a movie, you're not really going to talk as much as if you go to a museum. I think that was her thought process, basically. I hope it's not a weirdo museum, though. Like, well, I don't mean weirdo museum, but I mean like a museum you wouldn't go on your first date. Like, you wouldn't go to a sex museum on your first date. So, did this mean that the whole date thing was already set in
それ
stone?
じゃ行くよ。
Apparently it was. It would seem the answer was yes.
けどお前、芸術に興味なんかあったっけ？
The museum was located away from the main streets. While we were on our way there, I asked Kasumi something that had been on my mind. It wasn't a huge museum or anything, but it was a fancy sort of place that frequently held exhibitions for paintings, ceramics, and the like. It didn't seem very Kasumi-like to me.
どうだか。ただ先輩ならハマるかもな。
なんかそれ私が非生産的なやつみたいで嫌なんですけど。
お前何か生産できたか？
料理作れるよ。
Whoa! You can... So you know kendo and you can cook. Huh. You're blowing my mind right now. Was that really so special? Not that I was one to talk. Cooking and me went together about as well as oil and water. At least, as long as you're not like blowing up the kitchen, I think you'll be okay. Well, as long as you're not burning toast too. Well, some people like burnt toast, so I don't know. That is not my preference of texture and toast, but yeah.
とりあえずお前の料理は置いといて。結局何がコンセプトの展示なんだよ。
見てわからない？
Kasumi flashed the tickets at me, a wicked gleam in her eye. Frankly, the text on the tickets was printed so large that it would have been impossible not to notice,
一応
but
確認だけな。
I was still holding out hope that I was just seeing things, because if I wasn't, then it meant we were straight are on... What? Hold on. Because if I wasn't, then it meant we were straight our on way to a gala featuring an assortment of objects I was not interested in seeing. Unfortunately, Blades of the World? My hopes were thoroughly crushed. This was no way to treat someone who just got out of the hospital. Well, the thing is though, right? Don't worry, you're not gonna learn. You're just gonna learn how retarded I am at picking right decisions for this game. That's about the only thing you're gonna learn here right now. Actually, there was something I was specifically supposed to do. Alright, so somebody told me that for this game, there's like 4 different routes or something. And what ends up happening is, for whatever reason, is... I don't know why they did it this way, but you need to play this game in a specific order. And if you don't play this game in a specific order, then everything's going to be confusing. So there's going to be like a specific order or something like that. And for some reason, the text... Hold on. Whatever. We're going to ignore that right now. Oh, what's up, Rango? No, this game is a visual novel, bro. It's an anime visual novel. Alright, so I need to figure out what exactly I need to do to get the correct route that is like, so this game won't be confusing for me. Because I really don't want it to be confusing. Recommended route order is supposed to be Kasumi first. Follow the above route order. Trust me, otherwise you'll ruin the story for yourself. Says quote this website or something. Love anime? Well, as long as you guys can hear me, because I haven't streamed in such a long time, I don't even know if my audio levels are correct at all. And unfortunately, this is part of the reason why... part of the reason why I don't stream, because this would be the only time I can. Like, this is really, really late at night. It's 1:52 in the morning. If you're a first-time player, make absolutely sure to pick new game on the left. If you pick any of the heroine buttons on the right, the game will lock you into said route regardless of the dialogue choices. Huh. Well, then, shouldn't I have picked it to begin with? The other stories can be accessed from the main menu, blah blah blah, other story, blah. I don't Jono Judge says favorite anime. That's too hard, man. That's too hard. Well, I can tell you an anime that I'm enjoying right now a lot, which is Steins Gate. That's one of my favorite animes for sure. Is Steins Gate. Similar fashion. Note to Reyes. You can press F7 in game to immediately jump to the next choice, and F6 will take you back to the previous choice. Huh. I don't understand. Like, what am I doing right now? Yo, I'm so confused. I'm trying to make sure that I do this right, but I don't even know. So if I do this, do I get like a Kasumi ending or something? Huh. I wonder. Top 5 anime? What's up, Sylvester? Top 5 anime. Yo, you're killing me right now, man. You're killing me. Yo, if I think of my top 5 anime right now, I'm probably never gonna end up playing this game. Probably never. Dude, there's no way. Let me see. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Steins Gate. Dragon Ball Z. Jonah Judge is killing me right now. I am struggling right now. I am really struggling. I can't say Bleach because of the way they ended that. That was horrible. Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha. Gundam Seed Destiny. I'm just throwing out a whole bunch of. I'm just throwing out stuff because I honestly, it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're asking me to think. That's too much work, bro. What are you doing to me right now? All right. If you're a first-time player, make absolutely sure to pick New Game Plus on the left. If you pick any of the heroine buttons on the right, the game will lock you into said routes regardless of your decision choices. So all right. Oh. All right. So I need to do certain decisions to play the game in the necessary route. But if I pick one of the routes, then I get stuck with that regardless of anything that I do. No, this is really confusing, Safi, I'm telling you. Hold on. I think I understand. I think I understand now. All right, so let me do this back. All right. I already... No, the thing about this game, Zombie, is you need to say certain things to get a certain route, from my understanding. Yeah, man. It's like that, bro. It's like that. Alright. So we about to hop in this game now, okay? The problems have been solved. Alright. Eventually, we reached the museum, though Kasumi had to basically fight me tooth and nail the rest of the way there. I'd spare you the details of her dragging me around the place after we got there. I'd prefer not to remember. Oh, for you guys that don't know, this guy that's talking just got out of the hospital, and Kasumi is a raging bitch. Like, that's how I would describe that right now. That's the short version. And so... insert generic elevator music. I'm gonna keep spacing out because I just got out of the hospital with massive injuries, and then you slap me upside the head with your kendo learning ass, man. Kasumi muttered in exasperation while looking at the... What the hell? Nepalese knife? Known as Kukuri. I couldn't help having a sour look on my face. The mere sight of these kinds of blades had made me nauseous for as long as I could remember. Later, Jono Judge. Nah, man. Kasumi is confirmed dead or alive fighter, okay? Alright, so... I have a list right now of, like, things I need to save to play the game in the correct order without, like, ruining the story for myself. So I'm just going to bookmark this and continue with the game. Why did she take me here in the first place? She knew full well I wasn't good with sharp objects. Why do I hate them so much? I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with this guy. This guy has, like, issues and stuff like that. Well, her tone was genuinely curious. Unfortunately, this wasn't something I had a clear answer for. Do you have a reason for hating caterpillars? Alright. Wait, didn't he just say... Wait, did I miss something? Okay, so yeah, I thought I was going crazy. I was like, didn't he just say that she hates caterpillars? And then she's like, they're cute? There's something lovable about caterpillars. Lovable caterpillars. That's something you would say about bears. I don't think that's something you would say about caterpillars. A Tekken character named Kasumi. Nah, man. Only Kasumi I know is dead or alive Kasumi, bro. What about cockroaches? Are they cute too? I need to know this information. Of course you'd smash them. Of course. Okay, how about snakes? What is wrong with you? Wonderful. I suppose I was wrong to expect a girlish response out of Kasumi in the first place.
なんか言った？
I said
気
plenty.
にするな。
Whatever the case. Oh, okay. That actually, I didn't need to know that. Whatever the case, these things just didn't sit well with me. Okay, so this guy hates sharp objects for whatever reason. I would love to know why. Little Miss Kendo over here might have found the blades on display fascinating, but I was definitely not having a good time.
もう一通り回ったし、そろそろいいだろう。帰らないか。
Look at this guy. Hey, Chad, this guy's bitching out already. He's around knives. Like, this date was specifically set up for him and her to actually go out and possibly start dating from, I believe it was Rhea that set it up, which I haven't met yet, but this guy is bitching out of a date right now.
デートでしょ？
Guys, would you bitch out of a date just because there's swords and knives around? Aren't we on a date? I mean...
お前、俺とデートしても楽しくないだろう。
I can't see how you find being on a date with me fun. I mean, well, you're kind of making it anti-fun, Mr. Ren.
あんたの態度次第ね。
You know, she's right. She's right. She was telling me this.
俺の態度は昔からこんなだろ。病み上がりなんだし、高いハードル持ってくるな。
ほんとしょうがないな。
I wonder which one of them is beyond help here, for real. We got the Kendo girl who just like screaming at this man, and then we got the guy who's afraid of sharp objects on display. Kasumi heaved a deep sigh. I was beginning to think that she actually understood, but...
最後にもう一回りして帰ろうか。
One more lap around the place? Well, I'm not dead yet, zombie. No, of course she didn't. And so we ended up taking one more lap around the museum. I did my best to avoid looking directly at any of the blades on display. I wasn't sure I could really explain exactly why I had this thing against blades, but it wasn't because I felt scared of them. Maybe they just weren't compatible with me. Zombie says, I don't think anyone would want to be around me with knives and swords. I'd role play so hard. Yeah, I mean, they're on display though. So, I mean, if they're on display, I don't see the issue. But if you're gonna role play and start swinging stuff around, then yeah, you're gonna have to get the hell away from me. I didn't want to have anything to do with them, period. It just felt like mixing Ren Fuji with bladed weapons with a bad idea. Like putting ketchup on a donut. Now that does sound pretty awful. Keeping my distance was a smart move if I wanted to maintain the peace and harmony in my life. Your life is not even peace and harmony. Your life is just making life as boring as possible so time doesn't feel fast for you. That's not harmony. That's awful. In a way, they almost reminded me of Shiro. Okay, so you're reminding yourself of the guy that you said was a mistake in life, essentially. I shook my head, reminiscing about that guy was the opposite of a productive activity. Yes, you compared him. Like this was his analogy for Shiro, basically. If he was writing a book, he said Shiro would be a misprint in the book. Like he shouldn't exist in his own book. That's basically what he said about the guy. Get good, pleb. If they are on display, you better get ready for my essay on a katana. What the hell would you write on an essay for a katana? How sharp it is? Like, what would you write? I was on a date, after all. Worrying about Kasumi would be a better usage of my time. Not that I had much confidence in managing that either, but it would be a polite thing to do. What? What the hell was that noise? Moo? Like cow moo?
何？どうかした？
No, I'm not okay.
あ、いや、
I just heard some weird ass voice. I could have sworn I heard something. Was it just my... Hello? Question mark? So I really was hearing a voice coming from somewhere. Alright, so I'm going to press this, screenshot that face, and continue on. You know, I originally didn't like her outfit when I first saw her, but it's kind of growing on me. It's kind of growing on me. I strained my ears. The museum was quiet enough that it should have been easy to make out the voice I had heard, assuming it wasn't my imagination. Moorer? It was coming from this direction. I don't... Is he chasing after the voice? I ignored Kasumi and ran off. I wasn't quite sure myself why I felt so compelled like this. There was no clear reason to concern myself over some voice in the distance. Either way, I found myself drawn to the spot the voice was coming from. Perhaps it would have been more accurate to say I was guided there even. I found myself in an obscure corner of the museum, the sort of place you'd never come across if you were just taking the normal route through. Normally, you wouldn't think there would even be an exhibit piece somewhere out of the way like this, and yet there it was.
Guillotine?
A guillotine? And let's flip on eerie intro music. I was sure everyone had heard of a guillotine, the execution device used for beheadings. This exhibit wasn't an entire guillotine though, just the blade used for the beheading itself. Zombie, this is scaring the hell out of me right now. This is creepy as hell. Zombie says, I'd write the history of how a katana is made, why a katana is the sole weapon of a samurai, and what it means to carry one. So you're gonna write about Rurouni Kenshin. Got it. Okay. The blade before me distinguished itself from the rest of the exhibits by demonstrating a cold simplicity. There was nothing glamorous or decorative about it. This was a lump of steel designed for the sole purpose of beheading with ruthless efficiency. You'd likely not find a more suitable tool for its task. Zombie, I said Rurouni Kenshin, you know, Samurai X, Kenshin Himura. Okay. Why was something like this even on display? It was a blade, yes, but it differed from anything else I had seen today on a fundamental level. It might have had historic value, but it wasn't a weapon or implement of some ritual. Zombie, if you don't remember Rurouni Kenshin, then you have an issue considering you were talking about watching the live action yourself. Wait, I didn't even bring that up. So you don't remember Samurai X or Rurouni Kenshin. Okay, got it. Z. More than anything, though, I wanted to know why I had found myself drawn to it. Why is this here, though? It's creepy as hell. Kasumi had finally caught up with me. She took a glance at the guillotine from over my shoulder. Why is it called Boys de Justice? The Pillar of Justice?
あとフランス語な。それからマクシミリアン・ロベスピエール知ってるだろ。 18世紀の政治家だけど。
18th century politician, you say?
恐怖政治の
そいつに使ったものだって書いてる。
Robespierre was a key figure during the French Revolution. Oh gosh, now we're doing a history lesson. I thought it was just dictionary words that I was going to be subjected to. So not only was I subjected at the beginning of this game to World War II and being a German Japanese man or whatever I was, but now I'm subjected to learning about the French Revolution. Jeez. The man responsible for sending those opposed to the reign of terror to the guillotine. Ironically, his end would come by the same device he had employed upon so many of his political opponents and the something I can't pronounce. This was supposed to be from back then. It's in really good condition.
なんかうさんくさいな。信憑性はなさそうだ。
It doesn't feel all that authentic. Well, it is in super good condition. That's what seems kind of fishy right now.
でもそんな風に書かれてるとなんか嫌な感じだね。
同感だ。
So can we leave, considering we heard a voice coming from this direction and it happened to be coming from a guillotine? Authenticity aside, the idea of putting something like this on display was simply in bad taste to begin with. Thanks, Xavier. How to put it? The whole thing felt too raw. It felt too raw? That's an interesting thing to say. The object on display here was a tool of execution, nothing more, nothing less. So perhaps it was only natural that...
どれくらい殺したのかな?
Alright, this is not something we need to be thinking about right now. One would find themselves asking that question precisely because the lack of ornament present in the other exhibits made its nature as an implement of death
あまり
apparent.
不謹慎なこと考えるなよ。これは興味津々に拝むようなものじゃない。
Can we like not look at this and can we leave, please?
そもそも見つけたのはそっちじゃない。
Kasumi does have a point. You are the one that found it,
誰
sir.
だって嫌なものには敏感なんだよ。
Rivers of blood, screams echoing into the distance. All sorts of visions of death ran through my head when looking at this thing. It wasn't often you found something that so clearly embodied the negative side, the original intent of a blade. Given that name I cannot pronounce was attached to it, it had to have been from the 18th century. If it really had been used during the French Revolution, it was safe to say that it had executed hundreds of people. Some would actually describe the guillotine as a merciful form of execution. Merciful. So cutting somebody's head off is merciful now. All right. This just got really sick and dark. It was designed to sever heads at exactly the right angle in velocity to ensure that criminals met with a swift, painless death. I can't even imagine what would happen if... Oh no, oh gosh, my neck started hurting. What if it wasn't swift? What if they messed up and didn't like sharpen it right? Oh god, see? Can we stop looking at this? Now I'm getting these disgusting thoughts that I don't need right now. An instant death delivered at lightning speed. There was a reason some called it merciful. It's easy to get the wrong impression from the rivers of blood and mutilated corpses and the guillotine produced. But for someone facing execution, it was probably a far preferable to being hanged. Well, assuming that the victim died before they had a chance to feel the pain of being decapitated, that is. Yo, this just got so dark. And into segue, hello Dark, how are you? I found myself thinking about exactly the sort of thing I had just told Kasumi not to.
正直気分が悪くなってきた。
This thing is making me sick. Yes, same. Can we please leave now?
そうだね。ごめん。顔色悪いけど大丈夫？
No, I'm not okay. I just started thinking about things I don't want to think about at 2 o'clock in the morning or at all. I'm doing good, Dark. Could be better if I wasn't talking about people being decapitated.
平気だよ。別に体調が悪いわけじゃ。
Before I could get the word ill out, please tell me to... And the voice pops up again, boys. How are we the same? I'm assuming that this voice is coming from the guillotine. So how would I have anything in common with a guillotine? Please explain. I heard the voice from earlier again, more clearly than ever. You're the same as him? Why did I react the way I did? If only I hadn't paid attention. If only I had ignored it. If only I hadn't looked at it. If only I hadn't spun around to face that dreaded blade. Whoa! What is going on? What is happening? What? Huh? Question mark? What is happening? I would have never had to hear the cursed words born forth from the ethereal figure standing in front of the guillotine. I don't know why, but ethereal just has a pleasing sound to it. I don't know. I like the word ethereal. I really do. But, what is with this? Love you too, Xavier. How could she have known that? What did she mean we were the same? Wait a second. Since I just took screenshots of this woman, am I seeing that correctly? Yep. I see a scar on her neck, which means she was probably decapitated. The girl standing before me had skin of the purest white, yet that beauty was irrevocably tarnished by the violent streak of crimson across her neck. What's up, Raz? I almost wanted to believe it was some sort of necklace, but no, the jagged pattern was unmistakably the scar that a decapitation would create. Yes, that's disgusting. Looking back on things later, I would be able to say that this was where it had all begun. What's up, Cody? Oh gosh, here we go with the chat box, or oh my gosh, I keep calling this thing the chat box. The text box is in the middle, covering up the entire screen again. I hate this. Does my present live up to your expectations? All right, I don't know what's going on anymore. Zarathustra? What is this name? I'm gonna just call this person Zara for short. And thus we met, brought together by him. I have no idea what the hell is going on. Chapter 1. Another name I can't wait. Len Font D something. It was dark out by the time I got home. Yeah, but what happened? What happened, though? Are you just not gonna explain what happened? I guess we're gonna find out later, maybe? I had almost passed out at the museum earlier. I managed to make it back okay, but I still wasn't feeling too hot. At least it was consolation that Kasumi wasn't the type of person to get upset about having to deal with stuff like this. However, on the other hand...
ねえ レン、本当にもう平気なの？
Wait a second. Are you in her room? Is she in your room? What is happening? What's up, Memo? That also meant that she was the type to fret endlessly. My current goal was to figure out some way to make her leave me alone. Okay, well, if you want to make her leave you... Wait, so is this your house? Is that what I'm understanding right now? That's what I'm assuming. That's the only possible explanation you could have for this. Because it'd be weird if he wanted her to leave him alone in her house, because that would sound really strange. If I didn't, she was liable to try to spend the entire night here watching over me or something.
辛いなら横になったら？私、お粥とか作ろうか？
Rice porridge.
いいよ別に大丈夫。もう寝るからお前も帰れ。
Yes, go home. That was already a weird enough date. If you can even call that a date. Nobody goes to a freaking blade museum on a first date or on a date at all, I don't think. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. There's probably that one, that couple that goes to a knife museum on their first date or something. That would be really, really awkward. I knew that she was just trying to help, but I still couldn't really think straight after what happened earlier. I probably came across as harsher than I intended.
別に俺虚弱体質ってわけじゃないし。怪我はとっくに治ってるから病人扱いするなって。あんまり心配されてると本当に気分がめいってくる。
でも今日誘ったのは私だし、なんか責任感じちゃうし、レンちょっと頼りないし。
You're not the most reliable. Damn! Can you not wreck my entire life? And you're rude without even realizing it. She did have a point, to be fair. I wasn't the type of person people look to for help.
頼りがいのあるお前が俺に付き合って倒れたら困るだろ。だから。
私そんなにやわじゃないよ。
Yeah, she'll probably whoop your ass if need be.
俺もそんなにやわじゃないよ。だいたい俺を気遣ってるなら不毛なやりとりに付き合わせるなよ。ただでさえ明日から学校行くのが億劫なのに。
What's up, Silver?
あ、そうだった。ダメだよレン、サボっちゃ。
I like how she's like, no skipping class, even though she skipped class today to like see me at the hospital. Like, come on now.
今日サボったやつに言われてもな。
Exactly, there we go. Says the girl who skipped
私
today.
はいいの。ちゃんと毎日通ってたから1日くらい平気だよ。
Silver, this is a visual novel game. A visual novel anime game.
でもレンは入院して多分日数足りてないんだからね。留年しちゃうよ、怠けてると。
How long have I been hospitalized for though? Repeating a year. Yeah, I don't wanna repeat a grade. No, you wanna graduate with me. I don't wanna graduate with you. Damn it.
ね。
What?
そうだな。
I guess.
よし、だったら早く寝る。
I'll go to bed if you leave.
だからさっきからそう言ってるだろ。それをお前がごちゃごちゃと。
うるさいな。この不健康児は口答えするんじゃないの。
All right. Calm down. I don't need you hitting me again, okay? With your super... Oh, did she just hit... What? Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought she threw something at me. Well, she did throw something at me, but I thought it was something else. Threw some sheets on top of me. Surely there was less direct methods of getting someone into bed.
じゃあおやすみ。明日起こしに来るからね。
Seriously?
それはいいけど、おいかすみ。
Huh?
ちゃんと玄関から出ていけよ。
make sure you actually leave through the door this time? How did she leave before? What is going on? Did she like to jump from windows? Like, I don't understand. Did she think she could get away with anything just by laughing it off?
ちょっとめんどいなとか。
Wait, leaving through a door is a hassle? Are you kidding me? What's wrong with
普
you?
通はその面倒なことが常識なんだよ、大体。
What kind of person are you? I gestured to the wall next to me inside.
いい加減大家に怒られるぞ。いくら隣同士だからって。
Okay, next door neighbors. Okay, so her meeting you in the morning is not that bad then if you're next door neighbors. I thought she actually was going out of her way to wake you up or meet you in the morning. But how does she, if she doesn't use doors, then what the hell does she use? Windows? I really need to... What the hell? She would be in deep shit if the landlord found out that she had knocked out a goddamn hole in the wall and turned it into some kind of corridor. Like, this was the sort of thing people had kicked out for. She knocked a hole in the wall? What? Kazumi and I had moved into this apartment together when we enrolled into our current school. It took her less than a week to come up with the idea to construct this little side entrance. Why?
でも同じアパートの隣に住んで助け合うってのが一人暮らしの条件だったし。
My mom's conditions for us living alone was that we lived next door to each other in the same apartment to help each other out. You aren't related, so I guess your mom knows him and his family, I guess?
けどな。親もまさかここまでやってるとは思ってないだろ、絶対に。
Yeah, nobody knocks holes in walls to get into other people's apartments. Well, I shouldn't use the word never because I'm sure there's that one person that was crazy for the woman next door to him and punched a hole in the wall to get to her. And then she reported him to the police.
そうかな。
Not soon after that.
そうだよ。
頭固いな。
I know she did not just use the word thick-headed for somebody other than herself.
だいたい事の発端はシロなんだし、私に。
Believe it or not, she wasn't lying. Kasumi, Shido, and myself had all lived together in this apartment complex, all 3 rooms next to each other in a row. How did you guys manage that? I would love to know. It happened late one night out of nowhere. Shido broke down the wall separating our rooms and barreled in here with the hammer still in his hand, saying he suddenly got the urge to play me in a fighting game. How stupid could he get?
で、何を土地狂ったか
I don't even know what's
お前
going
も
on
真似したんだ
anymore.
よな。ご丁寧に。
So, wait. So there's a hole or an entrance to his apartment. So you have 3 apartments that are connected through holes in the wall? Is that what I'm understanding right now?
私はハンマーなんて野蛮なことはしてないけどね。
I didn't use something as barbaric as a hammer. Okay, what did you use? Your fists? She was barbaric enough to go down to the hardware store the next day and buy a power saw, some tarps, and a mask. I quit. I quit. Anyway, as I had the bad fortune to live in between these 2 idiots, I ended up with holes on both sides of my room. Yeah, I had a feeling that's what was going on here. I had a feeling. Privacy? What's that? Kasumi and Shido would often just cut through here to visit each other, and my room was sort of a natural gathering place.
せめて四郎の穴だけでも塞がせろよ。
How about you seal up both? Actually, no. Seal up his, leave hers. There you go.
ダメよ。 戻ってきたらどうするの？
There was no what if. Shido was never coming back, whether Kasumi knew it or not.
またみんな元通りになるんだから。私とレンと素人でね。
Old times, she says. The thing about those old times is we both put each other in the hospital after we almost beat each other to death. So I don't see things going back to old times anytime soon.
レン、
What?
だな。
What? What?
じゃあおやすみ。
Yes. Now go take your little corridor and go away. Kasumi smiled sweetly and returned to her room through the hole in the wall. I could tell by the complete lack of dust in my room that she had bothered to clean it while I was stuck in the hospital. Probably Shido's too. I would never admit it out loud, but I did appreciate the consideration. At the same time, though, I couldn't help but wonder if I really deserved having her look after me like this. Kasumi knew nothing. By all rights, right now, we should have been... I wish I knew the button for the backlog or whatever so I didn't have to go in the menu. Well, I could figure it out, but I would have to go through a lot of hotkeys that I don't feel like pressing right now. This line of thought would get me nowhere. I decided right then and there to stop mulling over the past. What was done was done. It wasn't healthy to keep obsessing like this. There was no way the girl I saw at the museum could have actually been real. She was just a hallucination, meaningless clutter that was born from my unstable mental state. But just how long has your mental state been unstable? Because I believe it's been a while. Considering how you're trying to make life as boring as possible so that you... I forgot what was his reasoning. He wanted to make it as boring as possible. Oh, so time could move slower. There we go. That was it.
そうそう。
That was the only explanation. I laid down in bed. A good night's sleep would be sure to wash away the memory of today. I wouldn't remember a thing when I woke up the next morning, I was sure of it. Until the next day when you remember everything and something else happens. I stared down at the ceiling. That's exactly what I was about to say. It's definitely 2 o'clock in the morning. I stared up at my own ceiling for the first time in 2 months. Amid familiar surroundings, I drifted off into sleep, gripped by a slight unease rather than a sense of comfort. Okay, and the next morning? Now we're having a nightmare or something? Now then, let the curtains rise on tonight's grand guignol. 'Tis a pleasure to make your acquaintance, my dear Zara. I am but a humble jester, come to present you with an opera. Consider me not more than a swindler, a charlatan. My name? I suppose... Cagliostro? Yo, Cagliostro. That sounds like a crazy ass name. Do allow me to regale you tonight with the tale of a girl I met while men still called me by that name. And I am seeing a guillotine. Something I did not want to see right now. The tale of the fair princess of the guillotine. I wonder if this has anything to do with that girl we just saw. The tale of her origins, as well as how the two of us came to meet. I beg you to forgive my brevity. I don't even know what brevity means, but whatever. It all came about as a result of simple bad luck, nothing more and nothing less. Now, bad luck. That sounds very familiar to what just happened. Is that bad luck? Humans are bound by their birth The average man cannot hope to compete with an absolute brought about by sheer chance at birth, regardless of his foibles or virtues. My story deals with just such circumstances. Unfortunately, there are many who fail to grasp the subtleties of these matters. Brevity means short of time? Let me find out. Dark just looked up on dictionary.com. Or do you actually know what it means, Dark? And thank you for the definition, so I don't have to go on dictionary.com to look it up. Allow me to apologize for beginning by airing some tiresome grievances of mine. The less reasonable among us have a tendency to seek an explanation for anyone who they perceive as breaking the mold. Be they a mighty hero, a blithering madman, or a miserable victim. Did they reach their status through tireless effort? Perhaps because they possessed a rare resolve. Or it could be because of some traumatic event in their past. Well, Dark, I'm not illiterate either, but I mean, this game has a lot of words that I don't know because either I never bothered to look them up, or I've never heard them before in my life. Preposterous assumptions, the lot of them. It's all nothing more than self-projection on the part of the common man. An expression of the fanciful idea that they too could have turned out that way. Well, Dark, the way I look at it is, if you like books, you're more than likely gonna like visual novels. I mean, the only difference is the fact that they're putting pictures in front of you to go with the text. That's pretty much the only difference. Oh, and they throw some voice actors in there too. But you can honestly turn that off. I just prefer to have it on. It adds to the emotion, I think. They too are capable of reaching the same level should they be granted the same opportunity. Such sentiments are little more than masturbation. Whoa! Pitiful attempts to drag the supernatural down to their level and reduce it to something they are capable of understanding. Miserable knaves, the lot of them. They are incapable of cherishing their fellow man without forcing themselves to believe that all others operate on the same logic as them. Such fools would be better off conversing with a mirror. You the Craigasm in chat right now over masturbation. The Craigasm in Kappa. Oh, that's good. You will no doubt find tonight's story unpleasant. Oh no. Oh no, this story is gonna make everybody in chat run away because it's gonna be unpleasant. But I trust that your soul is not tainted enough to imitate the folly of lesser men. Don't you mean lesser masturbation? In this world, there exists beings of utmost purity. Oh, I get it. So they don't masturbate. That's why they're pure, right? Yes, I speak of her. Search the entire universe, and you shall find no peers. I honestly got scared for 2 seconds because I was like, wait, what is that going across the screen? And I just see giant eyeballs just moving from like left to right. From the moment of her birth, she was complete. She did not and would not receive even the barest mite of influence from the vulgar outside world. Well, I guess I know what to name this video. Masturbation. The scar on her neck neck ever flagrant. I thought it was her words, pregnant only with hex. Wow. Guys, her words, pregnant. Pregnant. Her words are pregnant, boys. Her words are going to give birth now. Damn, that's next level. Fated to remain forlorn, doomed to never be loved. Then how, even an existence such as mine could not compete with a being as miraculously immaculate as her. Yo, they are whipping the words out right now. These are the big words, man. Okay, so Dark in chat says, quote, this novel is the best. Pregnant from masturbation. Spicy. For the first time, I laid eyes upon true beauty. I clutched a hand to my chest, overcome by the nature of her being. Overcome by the nature of her breast size. That's what it is. That's what this man is obviously talking about right now, isn't it? How wonderful was man to bring forth something so spectacular by mere chance. I knew immediately on some primal level that hers was not a state of being that others could hope to aspire to. One could devote his life to unraveling the mysteries of dusty... how do you pronounce this? Like grimoires or something? And never so much as set foot upon the mystic plane that was her dominion. Yo, this reading right now is making me super thirsty. She was absolute in her otherness. I must confess, I found myself envious of her. I'm sure you scoff at the very notion, of course. Oh my gosh, it's done. No, it's not done, but I'm still gonna drink this water anyway. Oh my gosh, the guillotine fell. So I'm assuming that this is when the large-breasted spirit died. I can say that meeting her was the one true moment of brilliance to be found amongst a miserable ordeal of my life. So what I'm getting from this is the main character in the current story, is he like the descendant of the person that killed her or something? Was he also mentally unstable like Ren is or something? Am I playing League later? I'm taking a extended break from League. In a way, it represented a loss on my part, yet defeat has never tasted sweeter. I finally discovered a goal to strive toward amid the endless expanse of the wasteland that I had wandered aimlessly for so long. I shall kneel before you, my beloved queen. I shall devote my very being to you, to the task of leading your soul to salvation. That shall be my opera, the day of wrath that shall rend asunder the accursed ghetto that is this universe. Come now. What rank are you now anyway, Rango? This time to take center stage, Zarathustra. Zarathustra. That's like... I have to try to pronounce that, because I'm not used... Those two syllables are not syllables that are usually close to each other. Like, I actually had to try to pronounce that. Zarathustra. take her hand and lead her in dance. I would like nothing more than for you to dazzle me. Are you dancing with a dead body right now, bro? Is that what you're doing? Are you dancing and masturbating to a decapitated body? Because if you are, that is absolutely disgusting. Deplorable. Yeah, I'm about to whip out those dictionary words for you. Suddenly, I heard the sound of waves crashing against the shore. I found myself standing on a mysterious beach, bathed in the crimson hue of dusk. This was a place far removed from the hectic fervor of the city. I could hear nothing but the quiet murmur of the waves and the sporadic chirping of birds somewhere in the distance. The scenery around me possessed a fleeting beauty, one brought about by the setting sun as it melted into the contours of the distant sea. This was the sort of sight that would normally vanish in an instant, but somehow I knew that here it would persist eternally. This was a moment frozen in time. Dark says, quote, dancing, masturbating, and impregnating a decapitated body. That's it. Best novel ever. I'm gonna have to get it now. Yeah, okay. Half of the sun had already sunk beyond the horizon, but the remaining half would never budge. The waves continuing to roll in and out were surely governed by something other than the tidal force that I was familiar with. Suddenly I understood this was a dream. There wasn't a beach like this anywhere in Suwahara City. Hell, it didn't even really look like somewhere in Japan. I had set foot on foreign soil, set foot on a temporal plane far removed from the present. That would seem... Wait, it would seem that I understood the nature of this place on an instinctual level. By all means, I should have felt some sense of bewilderment being confronted with so surreal a scene, but I simply found myself captivated by it. I wonder. I think a lot of people actually want me to play League again, but I wasn't having fun, so it kind of made me stop playing it, essentially. I don't know if I'll have fun playing it again. We'll see, I guess. There was a certain nostalgic atmosphere about the place that spoke to me. No, maybe that really drew me in was what really drew me in was the sense of stagnation. This was a world frozen in time, which is exactly what you want, apparently. Possessed of the beauty of an everlasting sunset, the very concept of the flow of time was meaningless here. The eternal twilight decorated by a sun that would never dip below the horizon. This world existed on the border between day and night. Its very existence, a precarious reverie, fallen between the cracks of reality. The heck? I just felt like some... Oh gosh. Has the reading out loud of visual novels finally gotten to my voice? That would really suck if it did. Watch me wake up and I can't speak. That would suck. I felt truly at peace here within this concentrated moment. I sat down on the beach, absently staring out at the sea and listening to the waves. I found myself overcome with a peculiar sense of deja vu. Even though I had never laid eyes on this place before, it was like I was already deeply familiar with it. Obviously, this was all just a dream, but it was a pleasant feeling nonetheless. Knowing what you're dealing with in advance means that you can handle anything it might throw your way. Foreknowledge makes it possible to avoid dangerous situations and prolong pleasant ones. To make better, more meaningful decisions. I hope this pain in my throat isn't anything serious. What could bring about a greater sense of peace? Yes, my ideal world was knowing everything in advance. If you know everything in advance, there comes a point where don't you mentally go crazy from that, knowing everything that's gonna happen? How can you have fun, or how can anybody surprise you, or how can you be happy if you know everything that's gonna happen in advance? Going around in circles until the day you die, was that your heart's desire? She cut across my line of vision at nearly the exact same time as I turned around. Have I ever seen that one Futurama episode? No. What happened in that Futurama episode you're talking about? For the first time, I knew what it meant to have your breath taken away. Alright, so I see the scar. So she's a blonde? Oh, okay, so this is the girl from the intro. Okay, got it. I didn't notice that she had a scar on her neck in the intro, so now I guess I know where she's from. Or what girl she is, or whatever. The word that immediately came to my mind was enchanting. I felt certain that anyone who came across this girl on the beach would be stunned in the same way I was. She was outfitted in a shabby, worn-out dress. No one could call her attire elegant, but on her it exuded a radiance that women of high society could never hope to obtain with even their most extravagant formal wear. Well then, alright. Her long hair emanated an auburn aura lit up by the dull red glow of the setting sun. As she danced across the wet sand of the beach, the stark white ankles peeking out from the hem of her dress offered a sharp contrast to the warm colors of the world around her. She turned to face me, emerald eyes, green eyes, huh? With a gentle light. I couldn't take my eyes off her. She was like a gemstone cut into human form. As I stared, she began to sing, a ghost of a smile playing across her face. I could only give myself onto her song, onto the sweet refrain brought forth by her heavenly voice. The words L'enfant de la punition? That's definitely French, so I definitely butchered whatever that means, suddenly flashed through my head. I don't know, I feel like the way they drew her face, it looks really weird. Like, I get her hair is covering the other side of her face, but it looks like her face is like cut off or something. I don't know, it's like really weird. But I mean, it makes sense because her hair is covering it. I didn't know what those words meant or why they came to me now. Her song was a melody unfamiliar to me. However, I felt certain that it was some sort of prayer, perhaps a hymn, unbeknownst to all but her. The girl before me was utterly pure. I guess she didn't masturbate then. Oh, that's alright. I need to stop. That's freaking awful. Removed from our base world, how could a melody spilling forth from the lips of a being so immaculate be anything but a prayer? Was it possible to listen to a song you had never heard before within a dream? I didn't know, but there was no sense in pondering such questions. She was beautiful, plain and simple. That was enough to make everything else seem... What? The hell's going on? Something felt vaguely out of place. Was I overlooking something important? The stirring of emotion I had felt up to that point dissolved. Listening with a clear head, the lyric of her song began to form intelligible sentences. I had been a fool. Throughout Japan's history, twilight, the borderline between day and night, had been regarded as the time when the boundaries between the natural and supernatural grew thin. Twilight was when the inhuman walked among the living. All along, this girl had been mad.
血が欲しい。 飲み物をギロチンの渇きを癒すため。
May the guillotine's thirst be quenched? Yeah, alright. I think it's time for me to go. I think, yeah, you know, you don't seem so pure anymore. You're not, what's the word he used? Immaculate? Yeah, you're not so immaculate anymore. I'm gonna go. Well, actually, I can't force him to go. She continued singing, the same smile as ever adorning her features. Her emerald eyes were as clear as the surface of a pristine lake, without a trace of malevolence to be found, which was precisely why the scene before me was so horrifying. Yeah, that sounds crazy, Dark. She possessed a childlike innocence in jarring contrast to the utter profanity of her accursed song. Alright, can you stop, please? Can you please stop? What can you no, this I'm not feeling this song. Her song reverberated inside my head, splitting itself into seemingly endless echoes. As I stared at her, I caught a glimpse of the crimson band around her neck through her disheveled hair, unmistakably the work of a guillotine blade. Well, I have a feeling the only reason you're having this dream is the fact that you saw her, essentially. Which, unlucky, bro. So how long are you just gonna stand there and look at her? That's the real question, dude. This is the same girl I had met in the museum, the cursed girl who had met her end by the guillotine. So, alright, L'Enfant de la Punition, or whatever. Oh, the damned girl. I'm really curious of what effect she's gonna have on me in the future. Well, there goes the perfect girl, Dark. She's no longer perfect. She's now the damned girl. Got it? She's forever damned. It wants blood. Wait, what the hell was that noise? I was assaulted by a sudden brutal impact as if I had been hit by a semi. My vision went black. In the next moment, I found myself in the midst of a turbulent crowd gathered around gallows set up in the center of a plaza. The torrent of sheer delirium, fueled by fear and hatred, and a dark elation consumed everything. The scenery around me, little more than churning chaos. A deafening chorus filled my ears. Blood, blood, blood. It wants blood. Shower the guillotine with drink. May the guillotine's thirst be quenched. What it wants is blood, blood, blood. The frenzied crowd was singing the same song that I had heard only moments earlier. Back in the time period when public executions like this were commonplace, it must have been the hymn they offered before the guillotine. Delirium means full of excitement. You know, I actually didn't know that. Thanks for telling me that. You just made this even more creepy, Dark. The elites, the clergy, and the common man had come together all for the simple purpose of seeing a criminal decapitated before their eyes, to see my head fly from my shoulders. After this scene is over, I think I'm gonna stop. That's right, don't ask me why, but the criminal strapped to the guillotine was none other than myself. Next to me, some sort of official was calling out to the crowd, speaking a language I didn't recognize. It would seem he was recruiting a volunteer to act as the executioner. It wasn't long before a man had emerged from the crowd. He released the guillotine's blade and my head... Oh my gosh! This is disgusting! Ugh. Tumbled to the ground, bathed in the queer tones of the eternal dusk. My spine was severed in an instant, inducing ataxia. Alright, what is ataxia, dude? What? Yo, they're really going hard with these words, dude. A loss of full control of bodily movements. Well then, yeah, that's what happens when you get decapitated, man. But my ability to feel pain had been lost along with the connection between my brain and the rest of my body. Let me find out Dark is a human dictionary. I could do nothing but stare up at my headless body as it spewed forth blood. That is really disgusting. Like, my heart was still beating. I wanted nothing more than to extend a hand to my body, but that was impossible now. All I could do was lie on the ground, listening to that abominable refrain. And boys, he woke up. And we have woken up from the nightmare that we have just had about being decapitated. So let's continue. I jolted out of my bed only to find that it was already light outside. I immediately reached for my neck. It was, of course, still attached to the rest of my body. Against my better judgment, after playing about 4 hours of Steins Gate Zero, I am playing this. This is going to be really interesting if my voice is going to hold up. I slumped down, dream or not. That experience was no laughing matter. It was just in bad taste, and above all else... What the... I wasn't very happy about the fact that Kasumi, who snuck into my room like this on a daily basis, had just seen the whole thing. Hello? Why are you in my room? I wouldn't have been released from the hospital if I hadn't made a full recovery, so this dream had nothing to do with my injuries. It was nice that Kasumi was so worried about me, but if I didn't make things clear now, she'd end up driving us both to
デ
ruin.
リケートなんだよ俺は。枕が変わってうまく寝つけなかっただけ。あと人の寝顔をジロジロ見てる変態がいたせいだな。うなされてたのは。
What?
それ私のこと？
他に一体誰がいると？
うわ、何この恩知らず。そんなこと言ってるともうご飯作ってあげないよ。
Kasumi gave me an exaggerated glance, shaking the kitchen knife she had brought from her room back and forth. No wonder I had a nightmare. Who wouldn't if there's a crazy person holding a knife staring at them while they were asleep? At least that was what I tried to tell
危なっ
myself.
かしいからしまえよそれ。俺の前でそんなもんちらつかせないでくれ。
You know he has an issue with, pointy objects.
それはあんたの部屋に包丁がないから悪いんでしょ。まったく私がいないとレトルトばっかり食べるくせに。
Well, sometimes you gotta live like that, man. Sometimes you gotta live off ramen and, ravioli and hot pockets and stuff, bro. That's the college dream right there.
少しはその辺感謝して多少の役得をくれたっていいじゃないの。
A few benefits on the side? What exactly are you implying,
役
Kasumi?
得？
Yes, benefits? What do you mean, benefits? What was she going on about now?
レンの寝顔可愛いんだなこれが。
Who gets off? Well, I shouldn't say that, because I've seen people get off on watching other people sleep for whatever reason.
起きたら小生意気なんだけどね。
Yeah, I began to seriously consider wrapping her in a blanket and throwing her
抱き
out
し
the
めて
window.
唇奪ってやろうかこの女。
What?
図星？
Now you're
そんな
just
わけ
trolling
ある
me.
かよ。
Keep
とにか
dreaming.
く朝飯なら勝手にキッチン使っていいからさっさとしてくれ。
はーい。なんかレンって意外に亭主関白臭いよね。
Well, I would love to know what you're making for breakfast right now. What are you making? Kasumi headed off into the kitchen, still waving that damn knife around. I really needed to look into closing up that hole in the wall. That said, her morning antics had done a good job of helping me forget about that horrible dream. I was grateful for that at least. It was currently 7:20 a.m. and it is currently 3 a.m. for me. And I sat at the table about to get started on the rice, grilled fish, and miso soup that she had made. Truly a Japanese breakfast if I had ever seen one. It was about 30 minutes from our apartment complex to the school, so right now we could afford to spend 10 minutes eating, 10 minutes cleaning up, and 10 minutes getting ready.
あっく、ウィリンをそうかへ。
What was that? I couldn't hear you with with all that stuff in your mouth.
は？
Now, if you want to get that out of your mouth, maybe I could understand what you're saying. Kasumi took a sip of tea, washing down the rice that had been stuck in her mouth. Had anyone ever taught this girl the first thing about manners?
制服クリーニングしといたからね。
ああ。
You mean the bloody school uniform? If memory served, it had been covered in blood and dust in addition to being ripped up all over. Our uniforms are made of white cloth, so it would have been hard
ク
to
リーニング
miss.
でよく片付いたな。新しいの買おうかと思ってたのに。
うん、そう言うだろうと思って注文もしといたけど、なんか少し時間がかかるって言われたから。
You even ordered a... Yo, this girl is like wifey material or
新
something.
品が来るまでちょっとみっともないけど、これで我慢しなさいね。
Kasumi placed a folded uniform that had been lying next to her onto my lap. I opened it up to find that it had been patched together here and there.
何その顔。
いや、もしかしてこれお前が？
悪いかこの文句あるか？
文句は別にないけどさ。
While Kasumi's cooking was more or less edible, her sewing skills left a lot to be desired. Oh, so she's not exactly wife material, kind of. She's like, how should I put this? She's like that person that can't cook or sew. But she cares. That's what counts here.
ありがとう。あとは冬だし、ずっとコートでも着てりゃいいかな。
授業中も？それって校則違反じゃない？
Listen, don't worry about all
硬
that.
いこと言うなよ。病み上がりなんだ、俺は。
昨日は病人扱いするなって言ったくせに。
Kasumi shot me a glare, then proceeded to begin chowing down on a single taroko on her plate.
辛い。
Yo, I love spicy. Don't even say that, Kasumi. Well, of course
っていう
it
かお
was.
前、
Hold on.
それ二人で分けるんじゃないのかよ。何一人で丸ごとトライしてるんだ。
やかましいわね。あんたには絶対やらない。これうちのお母さんがくれたんだからね。
Wow! She whipped out the stingy real quick. And so she began nibbling on her tarako without even using the rice to soften its taste. So, how does it feel now, Miss Stingy?
辛いよ。
Shut up. I don't want to hear your complaining. I don't want to hear you complaining at all after you just were stingy as hell. She looked like she was about to
お
burst
前
into
頭
tears.
大丈夫か？
大きなお世話です。バカ。
Mind your own business. Alright, whatever you say. She turned her whole body away from me in her chair. She apparently had no further intention of speaking with me. Oh well. I mean, are you gonna leave my apartment now? Not that I really gave a shit. It would have been nice if she could stop mumbling stuff like so spicy but so good while acting like that though. It was kind of creeping me out. Since Kasumi had retreated into her own little world, I found myself without anything to do. While we ate breakfast, I decided to check out what was on the news, which had been playing in the background this whole time. At least we're using regular words now instead of like dictionary words that are in the World Dictionary or something. Unfortunately, there wasn't much that caught my interest, mostly just the usual about the weather and whatnot. And for an average citizen like myself, even the sensational news about corrupt politicians and the celebrities caught having affairs wasn't really that exciting or relevant to me. Since there was nothing interesting on TV, I decided to see if Kasumi had decided to stop acting like a child yet. But right when I was about to shift my focus back toward her...
死亡
Did somebody just say died and died? Oops. Move, controller. Move. Whoa, hold the phone. What they just
昨夜
say?
遅く諏訪原市の公園で男性の他殺死体が発見され、同市警は殺人事件として捜査を。
Male homicide? What the hell? Wait, had there really been a homicide in Suwahara?
現在のところ通り魔的なものであるとの見解がなされており、それというのも被害者の頸部が切断されるという猟奇的な犯行であることから。
He was
凶器
decapitated?
の断定はまだできていないとのことですが、おそらくは鋭利な刃物、日本刀、もしくはそれに類する刃渡り60センチ以上の刀剣であるという説が有力視されています。なお、被害者の男性は諏訪原市の会社員生野健二さん24歳であり、死因は頸部の切断による。
I don't believe this. How is this even possible? She's a spirit. How the hell could she decapitate someone? I stared transfixed at the news report as it elaborated on the details, but the sound of a plate shattering shook me out of my trance. Kasumi must have dropped it. One could hardly blame her for being surprised. Here we were eating breakfast as usual, and all of a sudden the news starts going on about gruesome details of a homicide. Suwahara City Park, the site of the murder, was a place most residents were very familiar with as well. So Kasumi's reaction was very normal. The details of the incident, however, were far from normal. They said that the cause of death was decapitation, so in other words, his head was cut off. If there were no other wounds on the body, then the act must have been carried out swiftly. Maybe the culprit got the guy as they were walking by each other, or snuck up on him from behind, or they could have knocked the victim out first. I couldn't be sure of the exact details, but if the murder weapon was a sharp blade like the newscaster has said, it seems safe to say that the victim had been beheaded in one clean strike. You'd need nigh superhuman strength in order to pull something like that off. The culprit would have to be some sort of giant bodybuilder. And a guy like that walking around with a katana or something would definitely attract attention. Yet according to the newscaster, there were no reports of anyone suspicious in the area at around the time of the murder. So what? They had set up a piano wire trap in advance or something? What the hell? My hand shot to my neck. Here I was trying to come up with some realistic scenario to explain the murder. Well, that dream is tied to this. More accurately, I was trying to come up with an explanation that didn't involve that. I was trying to avoid thinking about the implement that one couldn't help but associate with beheading. I had seen it myself at the museum. Hell, I had even had a dream involving it the night before. The guillotine that had stood so imposingly amid the execution grounds in my dream, I could still remember it severing my head in vivid detail. I had woken up to find that someone really had been decapitated. Was this just a coincidence? Just something I could laugh off as not concerning me? I mean, decapitation is not very common to my knowledge, like as a way of death. That's not a very common death thing, I don't believe. After all, I had seen the same girl in both real life and my dream. It was already apparent that the boundary between the two was thinner than we thought. Who could prove that what happened in a dream could also occur in reality? In other words, my dream had been... Huh?
もう行こう。遅刻しちゃうよ。
Kasumi was right. It wasn't healthy to keep going down this unrealistic line of thought.
着替えるから部屋戻っててくれ。
別に照れなくてもいいのに。
うるさいな。それより。
はいはい。玄関使いでしょ。面倒だから嫌ですよ。とりあえず先に食器だけ片付けとくね。
Even our typical morning routine felt somehow strained.
ほら、もたもたしてない。さっさと行く。
Oh, now you're rushing me to school. Okay, got it. Alright. But unlike me, Kasumi wasn't the type to keep moping around forever. It was business as usual as she stood in front of the apartment harassing me.
なんで男のあんたが私より準備に時間かかるのよ。
You know, she does have a point there. She shouldn't be getting ready faster than you.
それともあれかな？もしかしてお化粧してたりしたのかな？
殴るぞ、お前は。
Oh! Did no one ever tell her that it was rude to make fun of other people's
そっ
appearances?
ちこそ少しはシャレっ気くらいつけろよな。 いつも汗まみれで竹刀ばっかり振ってるから男じゃなくて女にモテ。
喧嘩売ってるわけ？
Oh! Yo, you are about to get pummeled, dude. You better shut your
先
damn
に売
mouth.
ってきたのはお前だろうが。
何よ、昔はそれがいいとか言ってたような気がするのに。
気がするだけかよ。
I sure as hell never said that.
あんただって女の子にモテ。
なくても別にいい。特にお前には。
Damn.
何これ、ほんと可愛くないですよ。
だから可愛くなくていいんだよ。あとこれってなんだ、これは物か。
おうイエス、この牧石野郎。
Brain cells were going to start dying if I continued this conversation. Well, brain cells definitely got destroyed for the last ending I got for Steins Gate, which I don't know will probably be uploaded in like the next 2 days or so, I guess. I'm not sure. But I definitely lost a lot of brain cells for that ending, man. I was so surprised at all the stuff that was going down. I didn't feel like being late for school the day after I got back from being in the hospital, so I urged Kasumi
ほ
along.
ら行くぞ。
はーい。で、本当にコート着てきたんだね。まだそんなに寒くないのに。
I don't even know
今
what
日
month
は
it
冷え
is.
るって言ってただろ。
そうだっけ？
They did, but I thought better of bringing up the
俺
news
寒がり
again.
だしな。
I'd rather people not see the patchwork mess I was wearing. I kept that last bit to myself, though. Yes, if you don't want to die, you should keep that to your damn self. We walked for a bit until we hit a crossroads. This junction was in the heart of the city, so you could say that all of the roads converged here and then split off. The city was split neatly into blocks by the main streets crossing here, with the church and hospital on the side facing the mountains, and the park and amusement park on the side facing the sea. As long as you started from here, it was impossible to get lost. I figured one might expect this sort of thing from a city known as a tourist destination like Suwahara. No one would bother visiting it if it was impossible to make your way around. Of course, last night here had been a murder at the park on the seafront side of Suwahara, favored by tourists. Not exactly the sort of thing that's good for business. The police were probably already on the move looking for the killer. It would be best not to walk around at night for the next few weeks in more ways than one. What is it? Kasumi suddenly called out to me.
方向違うよ。
は？
そっちはその
The murder. Right, of course.
悪い。
The fastest way to reach school is to cut through the park, so I had instinctively walked in that direction. Thank God Kasumi had caught me. I had no intention of oh my gosh, approaching a murder scene of my own
久しぶりなん
volition.
で道忘れたかも。よければ手とかは引いてくれると助かる。
あのね、バカな冗談言ってると本当に置いてくからね。もう。
No luck. I had tried playing it off to lighten the mood, but all I managed to do was piss her off. Well, that seems to be your forte, and everything that you're good at is to piss her off. And don't worry, and she pisses you off too, so it works. In the end, though, Kasumi made sure I was following her the whole way to school. I decided I should express my gratitude by offering her some important advice.
お前先に教室入れ。
は？
だから俺のことはもういいよ。気にしないで、ほら教室。
あんた何言ってんの？
わかんないかな。お前鈍いよ。
Maybe I couldn't really complain about Kasumi being so open, but at times I wish she was a little more perceptive. It didn't even occur to her on the way here. Sometimes I wasn't sure about this
今
girl.
俺と一緒に教室入るとお前変な目で見られるぞ。
なんで？
なんでも何も。
Well, every girl in the school seems to have a crush on him because of his looks or something, right? So won't she get the stanky look or something if she goes in with him? I was already enough of an outcast to begin with. Now here I was coming back to school after spending 2 months in the hospital because I had gotten a huge fight with a classmate. It wasn't hard to predict the sort of response I would get. There's that too.
そんなのと仲良くして変な噂立てられたくなかったらここは当たらず触らずって。
She doesn't seem to really care about that. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Kasumi was the sort of person with a strong sense of justice, a rarity this day and
ム
age.
カつくな。私そういう考え大嫌い。ほらね、一緒に行くよ。
Oh my gosh. She would. She grabbed my arm and started dragging me with her.
頼む。
She might have managed to make a nice entrance, emphatically swinging the door open and all, but things didn't go so well after that. So nobody's here?
何かなこれ。
Oh, they're just like not in seats. I guess. Well, they just didn't feel like putting them in the
お
seats.
前のテンションに引いてるってのが多分3割。
The other 70% went without saying. Unfortunately for Kasumi, the world didn't care if one was in the right or not. My first day at school in 2 months was off to a stellar start. As I had expected, I didn't exactly blend into the classroom. I caught my classmates casting sideward glances at me more than a few times. Kasumi didn't know when to quit, so she kept trying to get me involved with things, but I would rather she just left me alone. It wasn't like I was getting off on the idea of being some aloof loner or whatever, but I wanted to take things easy for the time being, a form of rehab in a sense. It was only natural for people to be worried around someone who had been involved in a violent incident. So I couldn't get angry at my peers. In fact, if they had all started acting all friendly instead, it would feel more like they were afraid of me in some way, and that wouldn't really sit well with me. I never had any friends except Kasumi, Shiro, and Himuro in the first place. Nothing wrong with things staying the way they were, so Kasumi didn't need to keep up these futile efforts.
早く飯でも食ってこいよ。
だからレンも一緒に行くの。
What? Why? I had the honor of being invited to lunch by my childhood friend who just so happened to be a bit of a celebrity around
何が
school.
悲しくて一回も口聞いたことない女5人の集団に俺が混ざらなきゃならないんだよ。
それは誤解を解くために。
やめとけよ、バカらしい。
A group of girls, hell if I could remember any of their names, stood behind Kasumi
あ
gazing
れ
at me
友達だろ
suspiciously.
だったら嫌がらせみたいなことしてやるなって。
なんでよ。レンも私の友達じゃない。
そう言ってくれるのはありがたいんだけどな。
It's okay. Go. Was she trying to argue that a friend of a friend was a friend too or
とに
something?
かくこういうのは最初が肝心なの。あんたもこれを機にマイナスイメージを払拭して。
She's really, really gung-ho, and it's the first day back. It's not that serious. And start making your daily life into something meaningful, blah, blah, blah. She just started going on with this stuff like she was straight out of some after-school special. No,
ちょっ
thank
とレ
you.
ン聞いてるの？
Okay, I was seriously getting fed up here.
俺は別に周りの評判なんか気にし
私は気にするの。
Oh my gosh, wait. I accidentally clicked twice. I don't really care what others think of me. Well, I
み
do.
んな何も知らないで勝手なことばっかり言ってんだから。悔しいのよ、そういうの。だからってほらちゃんとこっ
What
ち
the
見る。
hell? Kasumi grabbed my face from both sides. Clearly, I wasn't getting off that easily. The idea of trying to persuade her had probably been doomed from the start. Yeah, you know, yeah,
あのな
probably.
俺はこれでも俺なりに。
何よ、なんか文句あるわけ？
Yeah, I got a problem that you're going so damn hard, woman. Before I could respond with, of course I fucking do, my phone suddenly bars into the conversation with a beep.
レイにメールが来た。
来ちゃ悪いのかよ。ほら話せ。
The hell? What sort of reaction was that? I thought Kasumi was supposed to be sticking up for me, not treating me like some outcast herself. I shook her off and looked at my
どう
phone
したの？
screen.
いや悪いなかすみ。
あ、
先約があったのを忘れてた。
ちょっと待ってよ。あ、こらレン。
飯はまた今度誘ってくれよ。
I slipped past her and offered some parting remarks as I entered the hallway. I cast a glance to the side only to find Kasumi's friends still staring at me. They didn't need to conspicuously avert their eyes as soon as they noticed I was looking at them. Jeez. See, it was just as I said, people's preconceived notions didn't go away that easily, and honestly, people weren't exactly mistaken in their perception of me, so trying to clear things up or whatever was a ridiculous idea to begin with. There was no need to expend a bunch of effort only to end up making things awkward for everyone involved. Like I was trying to tell her earlier, I did try to be considerate in my own way. Since Kasumi had problems understanding the nuance of delicate situations like this, so I wasn't happy with her trying to give me shit about it. Congratulations on getting out of the hospital. School was lonely without you. What? How are you feeling? There's some things I'd like to talk to you about, so I'll be waiting on the roof. By the way, no one else is around. Just the two of us. Rhea? Just the two of us. Just me and Fuji. Hurry up, Himuro. Yeah, I figured it was Rhea. What was I supposed to say to this? Looked like she hadn't changed a bit. I wasn't sure whether I should heave a long sigh or start laughing. As a senior, surely she had something better to do than messing with her underclassmen. I really couldn't figure that part of her out. Like, true, I couldn't picture her getting stressed out over college entrance exam or job hunting, so maybe that sort of carefree approach did suit her. But let's just say that she took things too far. Well, anyway, the roof, huh? It would be a little rude to just turn down her offer, and besides, I was looking for a way to give Kasumi the slip anyway. I climbed up the stairs and threw open the door to the roof. This is kind of suspect. It was December. Oh, right. It's December. Oh, okay. So, it is cold. And she's not even wearing a jacket. What? Well, whatever. So yeah, the roof was murderously cold at this time of year. Before I had taken my 2-month leave of absence, there was still plenty of students eating lunch up here every day, but obviously no one was crazy enough to... Oh yeah, I guess there was someone crazy enough to keep using the roof. I heaved a sigh as I searched for her, and there she was sitting on a bench by the fence and munching on a sandwich. Why did she pick the coldest spot on the entire roof to sit
Senpai.
anyway? I didn't get a response, so I went ahead and sat down. That's Rhea? Huh. Interesting. One thing that's really, really confusing is why does the school uniform have the diamonds on the arms? Like, is that really necessary? Is that supposed to be just for like style purposes? Because it's not. I don't see how that helps you in the winter. Like, if you want to be warm, you don't exactly want holes in your long sleeve. This is the same person that tried to hook up Kasumi and Ren together? I must be missing something, or she's just chilling right now. I feel like she's gonna go completely ballistic. I had been sitting next to her for nearly 10 seconds now, but she hadn't even looked in my direction, let alone tried to strike up a conversation. She didn't fall asleep, right?
Senpai? は
Huh?
寒い。凍った。温めて。
Warmed you up? Huh? For a moment, I considered just getting up and leaving. This was Rhea Himoto, the senior who happened to be one of my few friends.
それ、暖かそうね、藤井くん。貸してくれると、私嬉しい。
I can't get a read on this girl. I'm really confused right now.
っていうか、むしろ貸せばか。
What? Did she just say hand it over, bitch? Excuse me? Why are you talking to her like that? Hold on, pump the brakes real quick. Yo, can I say something to her? Can I say something to her? This was about what you could expect from
正
her.
直、ちょっと甘く見てた。天気予報もなかなかやるね。それで藤井くん。私とても寒いんだけど。優しさ。
どうでしょうね。
For all her claims that she was freezing, she wasn't shivering one bit and her expression seemed more or less normal. I couldn't be sure of her intent, but she was eyeing my coat. I wonder if she knows about the patch-up job. Yeah, I can't read her intent either, but hand it over, bitch, is very, very telling about her personality. And she said it with, like... okay. That stare of hers was colder
ちゃ
than
んと
any
後で
weather.
返すなら
Thanks to Kasumi's sewing job, my uniform underneath was looking more than a little fancy, but I didn't feel like getting into some sort of war of endurance. I stood up and
な
took
んだ
off
った
my
ら
coat.
二人で着る？こう仲良く肩寄せ合って。
What is this woman? I'm really scratching my head right now. I don't
遠慮
understand.
しときますよ
We can wear the jacket together and snuggle up all... What did she say? Snuggle up together real nice. What is this woman? I made my stance clear and stuck the coat on her.
暖かい。藤井くんは優しいね。そっちはどう？寒くない？
Okay, so you talk about, oh, you need my jacket, and then you ask, am I cold? Great.
暖かいって言ったら嘘ですね
じゃあ遠慮しないで。ほら、入りなさい。
Himoto flapped the hem of the coat, gesturing for me to join her. Did she just want to screw with me like this all day
Yeah.
long?
俺と何を話したいんです
さりげなく無視するのね。まあいいけど。まずは退院おめでとう。 綾瀬さんにはもう言われた？
おかげさまで昨日しっかり。
じゃあデートした？
おかげさまでそこそこしっかり。
そうよかった。
Yo. Yo. I'm so confused by this girl. Like, I can't like get a handle on her personality right now. It's really strange. I can only scratch my head. Exactly what part of that good was completely lost on me, but I have a feeling like this was the intention, is to make this character confusing.
まあこれでも食べなさい。
She offered me an egg sandwich. What was I, a dog being rewarded for a trick?
しっかり食べないと大きくならない。苦労するよ、いろいろと。
What? Oh! She's destroying my brain cells. I'm trying so hard to figure this girl out
健
and
全
I
な精
can't.
神は健全な体に宿るらしいし、早く真人間になりなさいね。
Okay, so she obviously cares about Ren and Kasumi, but she was really laying it on today. Apparently I didn't even qualify as a real human being. Sorry, but I felt confident that I was better at this whole human being thing than she was, at least.
何？
いや別に。
思ったことは言いなさいよ。そんなだから喧嘩になる。
Yo, this girl is bold.
ユサくんともどうせそうでしょ。食べてる？
一応。
She is very straightforward, it seems, and she does not give a damn. But the snuggling together in one coat was very interesting. I opened up the egg sandwich and gave her a few bites, offering a flippant reply in the
話したい
process.
ことってのはそれですか？
そうって言ったら帰っちゃう？
微妙ですね。
I knew that wasn't a great answer, but I gazed up at the sky. Why was everyone trying to lecture me like this as soon as I got out of the hospital? What was what I did really that worrying? Like, okay, I was sure most people would consider my scuffle with Cheeto to be far more than a mere fight, but it wasn't like I had been singled out for violence by a group or anything. I mean, dude, like, you had fractures in like 48 locations or whatever the hell it was, and you had bones sticking out of your body. Like, that's not... Like, when were you... You guys stopped when your bodies couldn't take it anymore. That's very excessive. I could understand people who I wasn't particularly friendly with going out of the way to avoid me or getting an earful from Kasumi, but I never expected Himuro, of all people, to go at it too.
先輩に説教ってのは似合いませんね。そっち系は霞だけで足りてますよ。あいつが2人もいたらマジで胃に穴が開く。
I get an ulcer if two of her were around. Hell, the main reason I came up here was to get away from her bitching. Yo, this game has no chill when it comes to language, dude.
苦労人だね。
Yes, I have. I've been through life-threatening injuries and traumatic experiences. I dropped my shoulders and sighed. Himoto resumed eating her sandwich as if nothing ever happened. I guess that was about what I expected from Himoto. If I had to try to describe her, she was like a ghost. She possessed a certain indefinite nature, like she wasn't concerned with the events of the world around her. At the same time, she would occasionally act up as seen earlier. A ghost possessed by a certain indefinite nature. I would also describe her as very straightforward and not giving a damn and having no chill. The way she kind of kept her distance was similar to my own position on things, so I did get along with her better than I did Kasumi. That's why the two of us had managed to become
さっ
friends.
きのはちょっと綾瀬さんの真似してみたの。君めんどくさそうな顔しながらまんざらでもなさそうだし、そういうのが好きなのかなって一度試してみたかったから。
Yo, I'm starting to believe that this girl's a troll. You always look just a little pleased underneath the annoyance.
でも似合わないならやめようかな。そんなに私変だった？
そりゃあね、だいぶ。
How were you supposed to react when the person lecturing you seemed like they were talking to thin air? Yeah, no emotion. Monotone.
で、本当のところは何の用です？まさか霞のモノマネしたかっただけでもないでしょう。いや、下手したらあり得るけど。
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. She had something she actually wanted to say.
まあ用ってほどじゃないんだけど。
She cast me a sideward glance, her tone as flat as ever.
君とユサ君どっちが勝ったの？
What? Does this really matter that much?
結構話題になってるのよね。月額最強決定戦。今のところ64でユサ君有利。でも復学してきたのは君だけだから、そのあたり揺れてるね。
Nobody won.
実際。
Their asses both went to the hospital. I didn't take Himoto for the type to get in on fads like this. Who won, me or Shido? Well, if you look, it took that to mean who was stronger
俺です
than...
よ。
本当に？
嘘ついてるとでも？
さ、ただユサ君に聞いても同じことを言いそうだから。
Yeah, he might have. No scratch that. He definitely would
怖い
have.
顔。やだね。これだから男の子は。
This is what I don't get about you men. What do you
勝った
mean?
の負けたの。そういうのがそんなに大事？肩こらないかな。プレッシャーだよ。
聞いてきたのは先輩でしょうに。
そうだけど。うん。そうだった。ごめんなさい。じゃあ、質問を変えようか。どうしてユサ君と喧嘩したの？
Yo. Could you... Okay. I'm starting to get a handle on her now. A read on her, basically.
答えたくない？
そうですね。
It wasn't something I was willing to discuss with others. Himuro was the one person who had found Shido and me passed out up here and called an ambulance for us. So in that sense, I was indebted to her, but that didn't really apply to this. Himuro's side.
まあ、三角関係のもつれとか、そういうお手軽いネタじゃないのは察するけどね。君とユサ君、そんなジャンルのキャラじゃないし。綾瀬さんモテそうに見えないし。
Why? Because she's really loud, bitchy, and how should I put it? Very high-strung, straightforward, and I'm missing something. Oh, boyish? There we go. She didn't exactly mince words with that one. I figured it would be best not to try to argue, though. Shido and I weren't the type to get into fights for wholesome reasons like that. And indeed, Kasumi wasn't popular, at least not with
そんな
us.
君たちがなんでか友達だったのが不幸の始まりだったのかな。実は私、前からこうなるような気がしてたよ。
Huh?
だから
Why?
神様は性格悪いなって思ってた。うん。今度一発、君の代わりに殴っとこうか。遠慮しないで、善意だから。
The goodness of your
そり
heart.
ゃどうも。
Right. Sure. Not exactly the sort of thing someone who lived in a church should be saying, but I didn't exactly feel obligated to stop her. If she wanted to punch out Jesus, then she could be my guest. As long as I wasn't the one receiving divine punishment over it.
大
Right.
体君に喧嘩なんて似合わないよ。怪我とかしたらみんな悲しむ。
Is this like her awkward way of saying, don't do that again, I care about you?
うちのシスターなんてきっとそっとするんじゃないかな。
シスター？
Did she mean the nun at the church? I had only met her a few times before, but she was really something else. To say that she had model-like proportions would be an understatement. Oh gosh. Please no. To put it simply, someone like her working as a nun was a great loss to the world. I wouldn't mind giving Jesus a sucker punch or two myself over
名
that
前
one.
何でしたっけ？
シスターリザ。青い瞳のボインボイン F カップ。
F cup? Are you serious? F? That's not. Come on, dude. Really? Come on, makers of this game. Was that really necessary to give her Fs? Really?
ちなみに私は B カップ。
Alright. I actually didn't need to know this, and I wasn't even thinking about that. Can you... Oh, gosh. Too much
その
information.
うち大きくなるかもしれない。
Grow bigger in time. Aren't you a senior in high school? Like, I don't know how much that's gonna happen, but, good luck with that. I kept quiet. There was no sense in crushing her dream.
で、その F カップさんは元気ですか？
No way are they really gonna call her F cup, dude. No way. That's ridiculous.
B カップは興味ないの？
You have to be trolling me.
それはとりあえずノー
I'm not
コメン
gonna
ト。
comment on that one for now. I rolled up the wrapping paper for the egg sandwich I had been eating and tossed it into the pocket of the coat Himuro was wearing. Why don't you just call her Irae? Wait, is her first name... Is her first name Rhea? I'm assuming her first name is Rhea, right? So why don't you call her... Well, I guess he's calling her Himuro because that's kind of like his senpai or whatever. Not missing a beat, she proceeded to hand me a tomato sandwich. Yo, she's got the stash,
彼
dude.
女、今寝込んでるよ。お見舞い来る？
風邪ですか？
ううん、そうじゃなくて。
Hmm? She took out another sandwich. Where the hell was she keeping all these sandwiches? And then the same unwavering blank expression on her face, she dropped a
殺人
bombshell.
事件、見ちゃったから。ニュース見てない？公園で殺人事件。首バッサリ、血がドバー。怖いね。私も食欲なくなるよ。
How can you say this with one tone? You have to try to do this. Scary, isn't it? Made you lose your appetite? Hold on, I'm gonna actually try this. Hold on. Yo, I feel like I have to try to be monotone. Like, that's just not how I roll. Like, alright. She's resting in bed right now. Wanna see her? Did she catch a cold? No, that's not it. She took another sandwich. Where the hell was she keeping all of these sandwiches anyway? And then, with the same unwavering, blank expression on her face, she dropped a bombshell. It's because she witnessed a murder. Have you seen the news? There was a murder in the park. Their head was cut clean off, blood everywhere. Scary, isn't it? Makes you lose your appetite. Yo, yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I can do that. Well, I think I just did. I don't know. I feel like I still had some tone in there, even though I was trying to stay with one tone. She said happily chowing down on a tomato sandwich, whatever that wasn't the issue
見たっ
here.
てつまり犯人を？
ううん、そっちじゃなくてやられた方、つまりその
死体を？
第一発見者。私もね。
She saw the body, a decapitated body, and she's at... This girl is special. Nothing affects her, apparently. She nodded casually. If this was true, we were talking about some serious shit. This was the sort of thing that could traumatize someone for
おかげで
life.
私、一晩中警察で事情聴取。リザはあんなだから先に返しておいたけど、大丈夫かな？
Yo, this girl is a baller, dude. I'm gonna have to... I don't know, Rhea might be my favorite character. Yo, she is a freaking baller. Jeez. Like, oh, you know, decapitated body. Dirt off my shoulder. Hold on. Let's see. Let me dust this traumatic experience off my shoulder real quick. That's easy work.
それより
Are
先
you
輩は
doing
平気なのか？
私は寝不足なだけ。カツ丼くれるかなと思ったけど、あれってドラマの中だけなんだね。がっかりしたよ。
Just a bit sleep deprived. That's all. I was looking forward to seeing the police put the whole good cop, bad cop act on. She kind of a disappointment? This girl is something special.
どうしたの藤井君。変な顔して。
She was the weird one here. I mean, I had always thought she was a little off,
もし
but
かして本当に話したかったのはそれなんですか？
どうかな。話の流れで思い出したから言ったんだけど、もしかしたらそうかもしれない。容疑者扱いされてショックだったし、ちょっと愚痴ってみたかったのかも。ねえ私、愚痴っていいかな？
まあいいですけど。
a murder case, there were a few topics less suitable for mealtime. Honestly, it wasn't really something I wanted to hear about either. Unfortunately, I couldn't avoid feeling curious about the matter. I couldn't seem to rid myself of thoughts about that dream. I decided to go ahead and listen to what Himuro had to
11
say.
時過ぎだったかな。あそこの夜景が好きだからよくリザと見に行くの。いつもはカップルばっかりで、たまに時間とか出るんだけど、昨日はなぜか誰もいなくて。思えば嫌な感じがしてたんだよね。寒いのに生暖かいっていうか、ちょっと変な雰囲気で。あの時に帰らなかったのは失敗だったよ。後悔してる。
Himuro began her story, an uncharacteristic hint of derision in her voice. The park she was talking about wasn't the sort of place housewives took their kids to. It was the seaside park that offered a view of the opposite shore and its various attractions like the Sky High Tower, the amusement park, shopping mall, resort hotel, and so on. As such, it was generally utilized as a date spot, teeming with people late into the night. It would seem that that was not the case last night,
足の
however.
玉とあるじゃない。ほら、よく君とユサ君がバイクで遊んでたところ。あそこって不意に暗くなるんだよね。地元の人間でもあまり知らないような場所。街の死角っていうのかな。とにかく現場はそこだった。最初に気づいたのはリザの方。彼女が言うにはスプレーかと思ったらしいよ。でも実際はそうじゃなくて。
A wall dyed in red paint. A sticky, gelatinous torrent of foul smelling.
私の第一印象はコルク抜いたばかりのシャンパンかな。線が外れちゃってるっていう感じで。 少し離れたところに転がってたよ。こうゴロンと。首って結構飛ぶんだね。それに血もいっぱい出るんだ。驚いた。
The fact that this just happened last night and she can clearly articulate everything that happened and explain it with a straight face and keep her monotone is truly special. Blood made up about 8 to 10% of a person's total weight. For an adult male, that would have been about 5 to 6 liters. It was no stretch to say that they had come across a literal sea of blood.
よく失神とかしなかったですね。
女の方が血に耐性があるんだよ。あといざという時の度胸もね。
That may be the case, but I think you're a special case because you don't seem affected at all. And if you are affected, it's slight. Or you're just really good at masking it, which is probably what it is.
とにかくそのまま帰るわけにもいかないから警察に電話して家まで送ってもらおうと思ったんだけど。
任意同行を求められて朝まで事情聴取ですか。
そう、失礼しちゃうね。丸腰の女二人にあんなことができるわけないのにさ。
Well, they had to ask you, what did you see? But I guess they could have just asked what they saw, took a statement, and then they could have left. I don't think they had to bring them. Well, I guess it's so... That situation was so out there that they brought them in for questioning. But like, yeah, I don't see them doing that. She meant cleaving off someone's head in an instant like that, according to the
日本
news.
刀かそういう感じの刃物なんじゃないかって。
そうらしいね。だから今博物館を調べてるんじゃないのかな。何かなくなった展示品がありはしないか。もしくはどれかに血痕があったりするんじゃないのか。
And another thing is, it wouldn't make any sense because if they were the ones that did it, are you telling me that all that blood they managed to just not get on them because they were blood free? So it's highly doubtful they had anything to do with it. And besides, cutting somebody's head off takes effort, dude. I wanted to laugh that idea off, but the circumstances made it
その推
difficult.
理ちょっと漫画的な気がしますけど。
でも同じ町にあれだけ凶器を置いてるところがあるんだし、無視するわけにもいかないんじゃないのかな。
True. She had a
そのあたり
point.
藤井君はどう思う？昼間あそこに行ったんでしょ。
Oh gosh, please don't remind me of the
どうって
guillotine.
何か思い当たることはなかったの？例えば伝説の妖刀がこっそり紛れてそうな雰囲気とか。
Even overlooking the ridiculous example, I couldn't tell if she was being serious or not.
藤井君？
いえ、特には。
そう、ちょっと残念。
As ever, her disinterested tone was at odd with her words. Himoto resumed eating. I simply looked up to the sky. So you're not gonna bring up the guillotine? Grisly decapitation. This was the sort of abnormal, gruesome event that would give you goosebumps just thinking about it. Anyone living in Suwahara might have been scared out of their wits. After all, murders this bizarre rarely ended with just one victim. For all we knew, another body could turn up tonight and might have been involved. What? What is this forward slash? And I might have been involved? Or what that means?
みんな落ち着かない感じだね。きっとしばらく部活とかは中止になるよ。もし周りの子たちが藤井君を過剰に怖がってるような感じなら、それはきっと
I
そう
didn't
いう
even
理由
think
もあ
of
るん
that
だ。
actually.
俺は別にそんなことは。
そうなの？じゃあ どうして元気ないかな。おかしいね。
Okay, so she's quite perceptive. Well, I could figure that out by things that she was saying previously about searching museums for katanas and other things. She seems to be on the ball with stuff, but she just is very good at masking her emotions, I'm assuming.
うん。もし
That
か
or
して
this
エイ
is
ジさん
just
と
her
喧嘩でもし
character.
た？
違いますよ。
嘘ばっかり。
She threw the coat she had been wearing over my head.
ダメだよ。好きな子には優しくしないと。物騒なんだし、君が守ってあげなくちゃ。
Huh? What?
じゃあね、藤井くん。コートありがとう。あと、話聞いてくれてありがとう。
I have the weirdest. Well, I really hate when you have like an itch that's like on your back and it's like your upper back and you can't reach it and you can't itch it. Like, oh my gosh, I can't reach it. It's so annoying. Oh my gosh.
本当は、うん。私も少し怖かったから、おかげで気が紛れたよ。
Well, let me put it to you this way, right? If there's ever a situation where crap goes down, I want you right there next to me because at least I know I have somebody that'll keep cool. Actually, I don't know if Ren would keep cool. So I don't know. That might be a little something else. Well, actually, I don't know how she responded to it. She might have like freaked out a little bit. Himuro gave me a rare grin. She seemed a little embarrassed. If she acted like this all the time, she'd establish a fan base in no time. Well, that
俺の好
aside...
きな女とか勝手に決めないでくれますか？俺は別に霞なんか。
はい、それも嘘。とにかく、いい加減裏に回る癖を直しなさい。もうユサくんはいないんだから。じゃあね。
With that, Himuro left the roof behind. I heaved a sigh. In the end, I really was just lectured the whole time. I was kind of miffed. It was cold as hell on the roof, but I had lost the will to return to class, so I decided to just skip. Apparently, I had fallen asleep at some point. I opened my eyes to see...
おいおい。
Wait, you fell asleep on the roof? Oh, gosh. I couldn't believe myself. It was already completely dark out. I was luckily I didn't get sick. Maybe it was true what they said about idiots not catching colds. I rose from the bench I had been laying on. I checked the time on my phone, 6:30 p.m. It wasn't terribly late, but seeing how it was winter, it was already pitch black outside. In the distance, I could see lights on in the school offices. Bro? Don't you remember that they canceled clubs so everybody can go home because of the murder? Or decapitation? I mean, it's still a murder, but... Decapitation is... That's really extreme. The idea of being caught by a teacher wasn't appealing. I had had enough lectures for one day. I headed back to the classroom to pick up my stuff, only to find... You moron, go and get held back a year for all I care. Gah. A lovely note from Kurisu taped to my desk. Ah, I was like, wait, what? Somebody was there to tell you that? But she had no reason to be concerned. My grades are better than hers. Since this was a college prep class, they were willing to turn a blind eye to most things as long as you did well on tests. That said, the incident with Shiro might not have fallen under most things, but setting that aside, I tore the note off my desk, rolled it up, and launched it at the trash can. I totally sunk the free throw. I left the class after paying my respect to Kasumi's rancorous missive. Never heard those words in my life, but whatever. The school was more than a little creepy at night. No wonder so many people reported ghost sightings during the summer months. I wasn't a fan of ghosts myself. myself. If I had to say why, it was because they were immune to physical attack. You could try punching them, kicking them, whacking them with a bat, whatever, and it wouldn't do a damn thing. Meanwhile, they were able to mess with us all they wanted. You could hardly call that playing fair. Surely I wasn't the only one who found that a bit unsophisticated. As I was walking down the hall, entertaining myself with silly ponderings on ghosts, something outside the window caught my eye. Huh? Kendo Hall? The lights were on. Himoto had said that the club activities would probably be suspended, which meant... let's take a look. Maybe it is Kasumi. I couldn't think of any other explanation. She surely wasn't trying to develop some new techniques to take on the murder on the loose, right? Unfortunately, I couldn't just leave her here now that I knew what Himura had told me earlier was still on my mind too, I guess. Setting aside the issue of whether or not she really needed me escorting her, we took the same path home anyway. I found just the person I was expecting to find in the dojo, but... What happened? I had come here thinking we'd go through our usual routine with me giving her a hard time and sidestepping her subsequent scolding. Kasumi, however, was clearly not in a playful mood right now. When I came to Kendo, she didn't cut corners or make compromises. She handled her bamboo sword with a quiet dignity, with nary a trace of her usual rambunctious demeanor to be found. Interesting. Staring at her steadfast expression, I found myself starting to understand why the younger girl swooned over her. It felt like it would be wrong somehow to call out to her, so I just leaned against the shoe rack and watched her practice. I wasn't very familiar with Kendo, but if memory served, that pose was the Seigan Kamae? One of the most basic techniques. She sure was diligent. Here was someone who placed in national tournaments, staying late in order to practice their fundamentals. Well, I guess that was probably part of why she was so strong. I had been watching her for a few minutes now. She had probably been practicing for much longer, of course, but her form hadn't wavered a bit. It called to mind the image of a Buddhist priest meditating. Was this what they called clearing one's mind? As I watched her, I suddenly wondered if she had some specific reason for going out of her way to maintain a steady presence of mind like this. I mean, that was kind of the idea of martial arts in general, but...
本当に強いやつは何もしなくたって強いんだよ。
I recall what Shido had once said while watching one of Kasumi's matches.
"最初から強いやつにはリハも稽古も必要ない。武道は弱いやつが強くなろうとする手段で、だから精神論が幅利かすのさ。礼に始まり、礼に終われって、そういう具合に元が弱いから力に耐性ないんだろうな。自分を律するのが最優先で、それができなきゃ破綻する。哀れすぎるぜ。まあ仕方ないとは思うけど。つまり、霞はそっち系だ。背伸びしてるあたり可愛いけど、生まれつきじゃないから無理してる。誰がったく、なんでこんなことになったのかね。うさぎちゃんに夢見せたのはどこのドイツだ？
You just call me Rennie,
レン
dude?
ちゃん。
I still remember the grin on his face as he nudged me with his shoulder in retrospect. Maybe I should have decked him right then and there.
責任取ってやれよ。そもそもあんなことやったから。
It's because you did that in the first place? Wait, what? What did he do? Oh, give me a break. Where the hell did he get off trying to lecture me about this? Whose fault did he think it was, anyway? It pissed me off hearing that sort of thing coming from the mouth of a wrist risk-obsessed psychopath like him. He needed to realize that he was nothing more than a fucking dumbass who liked complicating things for the hell of it. That was why I... Wait, what?
あれレン
What did he... What the hell was I doing? What did he just
ど
do?
うしたのっていうかいつからいたの
The real question is how long have you been
悪
here?
い。ちょっと声かけづらくて。
I had to be out of my mind, suddenly going on a trip down that particular memory lane. I pulled my fist out of the shoe rack, my gaze wavering. This was beyond embarrassing. So he punched a shoe rack?
その、一緒に帰ろうぜ。物騒だろう、一人だと。
どうしたのよ変だよレン珍しいよあんたがそんなこと言い出すなんて
いや。夜道はおっかないから、お前に守ってもらおうかなと。
The streets are scary at night, so I figured you could keep me safe.
はつまり何あんたは自分が怖いから私にガードしてくれとあんたが
Well,
私を
you
守るん
just
じゃ
found
な
a way to
く
piss her off, dude. Good job. And he said exactly! Could, Kasumi snapped.
この軟弱者がそれでも男が恥を知れ
You will be lucky to make it out of here alive, dude.
あと今思い出したあんた午後の授業サボったでしょどこ行ってたの
I think that would be giving you a little bit too much information right now. I don't think you need to know all of that.
屋上で寝てたんだけど。
I fell asleep on the roof.
は
Good job,
屋
dude.
上信じらんない何こいつ
You're just wearing
呆
me
れた
out.
めまいがするよ
I mean, you were
もういい
wearing me out
ちょっとそ
too.
こで待ってなさい着替えてくるから
Whatever. Kasumi stomped off into the changing room, and I could have sworn I heard the earth shake. She poked her head back
覗い
out.
たら奥義食らわすからね
You ain't gotta worry about all that. I ain't trying to die tonight. Bam! She slammed the door shut. Well, I guess this had turned out more or less how I originally envisioned it. It seemed Kasumi was back to her usual self, if nothing else. Now I just needed to stop worrying about stuff in the past myself.
それじゃあお世話になりました
Kasumi thanked the dojo, locked it, and headed my way.
お待たせどう何か食べてく
The last time I ate was when Rhea gave me a tomato sandwich, I believe it was. I think it was an egg sandwich and a tomato sandwich, actually.
いや、せっかくだから、かすみが何か作ってくれよ。
You make something? Alright.
でもそれだと遅くなるよ
Isn't it like 7 or something?
別にいい。どうも俺、他の料理が口に合わない。
そうなの
そう、昼飯は適当だったし、腹減ってる。だから、かすみの料理がいい。
うんでも買い置きないし
面倒か？だったら外食で我慢するけど。
いやそうじゃなくてそのなんか照れるね参ったなそういう風に言われると下手なもの作れないっていうか
Kasumi squirmed for a bit, but soon collected
よ
herself.
しだったら私頑張っちゃうよ
Alright, what are you gonna make?
頼むわ。
Thank God she was so simple-minded. Afterwards, we picked up some groceries at the supermarket and headed home together. I couldn't have been much later than 7 p.m. Wait, it couldn't have been much later than 7 p.m., but there were surprisingly few people still out and about on the streets. Well, I mean, could you really blame them with all the stuff that was going on or that's happened?
やっぱりみんな怖いんだね。
だろうな。
Naturally. You'd have to be crazy to want to go strolling in a city where there had been a brutal murder the previous day. The smart thing to do would be to stay inside with your doors locked tight. Thinking about it this way, Kasumi and I were being pretty careless going out at night like this, even if we were together.
先生もね、犯人が捕まるまでは各自まっすぐ帰りなさいって。
Yeah, you kinda should. What else would they say?
でもだったらお前、なんで居残りなんかしてたんだよ。
Also facts.
それはその。
Okay, so what were you doing? Do you have a tournament coming up or something?
なん
Like,
か
what's
も
going
う
on?
日課になっちゃってるもんだから、今さらやめるのも半端だし。それにほら、もしかしたら犯人逮捕とかできるかもしれないし。
You're gonna capture the person that cleaved somebody's head off. Well, by all means, do what you gotta do.
って何よその顔。もしかしてこいつバカだとか思ってるでしょ。
Maybe. Was she psychic or something?
お前な、そういうことは公僕に任せとけよ。なんで一女子高生が体張らなきゃならないんだよ。
そこはほら、私正義の味方だし。
Champion of justice, she says. Good
前
for
から
her.
思ってたけど、お前頭悪いよな。
You're not the sharpest tool in this shit.
何？ちょっとあんた失礼よ。
Hey, everything that you say is rude.
とにかく正義感もほどほどにしとけよな。
I didn't know what sort of person the murderer was, but it was probably safe to say that he was out of his mind. If he was going around decapitating people, the average person would almost certainly struggle to maintain their cool when confronting a psychopath like that. What if they weren't visibly out of their mind,
血
though?
まみれの凶器持ってニヤニヤ笑って、多分規制上げながら襲いかかってくるやつ相手に、お前の剣道がちゃんと発揮できるかどうかは微妙だぞ。自信あるのか？
どうだろうね。確かにちょっと怖いかも。
だろ？
Most people have never had to fight for their lives, so it would be only natural to freeze up when thrust into a situation like that. Only experience or natural predisposition for this sort of thing could help you there. Natural predisposition means that you just naturally calm in those situations, right? Not that being experienced with or possessing a gift for life or death struggles would be a good thing, mind you. Well, it would be a good thing if you're presented with those situations and then you actually can use those, but I mean, that's not something you really want to find out, though.
とにかく物騒なこと考えるなよ。また稽古続けるなら俺も一緒に残
Yeah,
る
you
から。
don't really want to find out if you have a predisposition to it, because then that means you're in a pretty crappy situation at that point.
やだね。心配してくれてるの？
心配だよ。俺一人で帰るのマジ怖いし。
はあ、そうですか。いや、素直で結構だとは思うけどね。でもさ、
What is it?
だいぶ前の調子が戻ってきたね。入院したばっかりの頃はなんだか幽霊みたいになっちゃってたけど。
Huh. Really now?
だからね、
What is it? Smiled softly, her expression feeling somehow
今度
mature.
何かあった時はちゃんと私に話してね。また前みたいに知らないところで無茶しちゃダメだよ。約束。
She stuck out her
ほ
pinky.
ら
お前俺の母さんじゃないんだからさ。
そんなようなものじゃない。私に守ってほしいんでしょ。
Oh, I thought you wanted me to protect you because you were so pissed about what I said. I wondered if it might not be better to just go
全
along
処
with
する
her.
よ。
よろしい。
Good enough, huh? Okay. Kasumi grabbed my hand and forcibly intertwined our pinkies. Never thought I'd be engaging in a pinky swear at this age. Next time something happens, be sure you tell me about it. I didn't want more stuff that I felt uncomfortable talking about to happen myself. I was more than over that sort of thing. Unfortunately, I always seem to have bad luck keeping these sorts of promises, so this pinky swear instead seemed ominous to me, like it was a portent of some misfortune to come. I couldn't shake that feeling for the rest of the night. After eating dinner, I headed straight to bed, and as soon as I fell asleep, it began. Oh gosh. Wait, what was the promise again? Next time something happens, be sure to tell me about it. Don't leave me in the dark and pull a reckless stunt like you did last time. Tell her about it and don't do reckless stuff. Got it. All right. The Crimson Dream of the Guillotine. No way you're gonna dream about this again. Indeed, the night was red. A beast lurked in the city. Most beasts were of a nocturnal nature, and so it was only natural the hunting of this one took place during the night, and thus the night was stained crimson, with fountains of blood, with dripping pieces of meat, with shattered bones, with the fading embers of life. Thus the beast satisfied its hunger, slacked its thirst in an endless cycle of limitless gluttony. Yo, what are we, Full Metal Alchemist now? It continued devouring its prey. However, there were also those that hunted such beasts, or perhaps it would be more accurate to describe this kind of phenomenon as mutual predation instead.
来た。
A beast in the form of a young woman spoke, a grim expression on her face. She was one of the hunters, but she was fundamentally no different from her prey. Indeed, they were one and the same. They both have become beasts through the same obscene method and took to the hunt for the same reasons. Two beasts of the same forest. If there was a difference to be found between them, it was her youth, but in this case, youth did not equate to inexperience. She had killed far more than the older beast before her. Thus, she had no intention of pursuing her prey at the current time. For now, she would simply step back and observe the situation, waiting for her prey to build experience and mature. She yearned for the day her prey's fangs would grow sharp enough that she could no longer manage. Okay, I need to stop. Manage them. Let it be said that she was not overestimating her own strength. This was her earnest desire. The hunt would be but a mere farce if her prey was feeble enough to fall to her alone. After all, every one of the hunters was a monster forged in the flames of hell. Her prey needed to be strong enough to hold its ground against all of them together.
難しそうな話だけど。
Her words earlier did not speak of her prey's arrival. Her comrades, the hunters, had arrived instead, and thus she understood. The odds of the prey managing to reach their level were so low that they might as well have been zero. Who the heck is this? There was no one to be seen in this area. Who is this? Her comrades hadn't made their presence known through sight or sound, but she could feel them there. Even if one was asleep, he or she is likely to awaken if several people enter the room simply from sensing their presence. This was a similar phenomenon. The room that was Suwahara City suddenly felt cramped. if we posited that the density of a normal person's existence was a 1, then the density of 2 who had just arrived was more than 1,000. There could be no doubt that these monsters had devoured more than 1,000 human souls. These were man-eaters far beyond the level of any mere serial killer. They could no longer be called human in any sense of the word, but this was perhaps to be expected. It meant only that they had come prepared. They had made effective use of the past 60 years, it would seem. Are you talking about the used to be German people, kind of? I don't even know if all of them were German. She had no trouble telling exactly who had arrived. Who could forget such tainted and utterly abominable souls as theirs? Before the words, "These two are the absolute worst," could pass from her lips, the girl remembered that the descriptor, the absolute worst, applied to all of them just the same and held her tongue.
ともあれ、ようこそシャンバラへ。
Shambhala?
Yokoso.
A man garbed in a priest's cassock offered his
本当にお
greeting.
久しぶりです。米中尉に
Warrant
マレウス准
Officer
尉。
Malaeus?
月並みですが、相変わらずのようですね。
His voice was calm, even comforting in contrast. The two beings receiving his greeting emitted a presence that could only be likened to that of a natural disaster. The sick stench of blood hung in the air. The pungent aroma of gunpowder filled the area. The entire world around them reeked with a rotten stench of murder. Those were the odors of madness. Alright, so somebody's head got cleaved. Did one of them have a scythe or something? No, the white-haired guy had guns. There was the really, really strong guy that had a really, really powerful fists and skin of armor or whatever. That other woman, I don't know what she had. I don't remember somebody with a scythe. These were the odors of madness. These were the odors of calamity. These were the odors of demons. The beings gathered atop this bridge were without exception utterly removed from the constraints of normalcy. One of the two guests, a young man, sneered at the priest's
相変わら
words.
ずってことは昔のまま進歩ねえって言いたいのかよクリストフ。言葉選ばねえと死ぬぞてめえ。
So what you're saying is that we haven't improved at all since the last time, huh, Christoph? You'd better watch your tongue or you're gonna end up dead in a ditch, you bastard. Well then, the man's language could hardly be called refined, but he spoke with a grin. The priest returned his own faint smile. The man's skin was fair, too fair, to the point of being inhumanly pale, as if cut from wax. However, he did not give off an aura of weakness or sickliness. Far from it, he possessed a certain limber poise, almost reminiscent of a python or other great reptile. In
ごきげんよ
contrast,
う神父様。あなたは本当に変わってないわね。少し怠けすぎなんじゃないかしら。
who is this girl? The sweet voice that resonated next belonged to a young woman every bit as charming as her voice would suggest. She looked completely unfit to this sinister place, and in that sense, she could have been said to give off the strongest impression of any of the creatures gathered atop the bridge. She served as an excellent example of the old adage that every rose had its
私はし
thorns.
ばらく陰性していたものでしてね。まあ怠けているのは今に始まったことでもなし、一応それなりの理由もありますが、説明責任を求めますか？
いらねえよ。知った仲だ。 堅苦しいのはやめようぜ。俺が知りたいのは一つだけだ。今シャンバラには誰と誰が入ってる？
レオンハルト、ゾーネンキント、バビロンにトバルカイン。
トバル
そ
カイン。
してあなたたちの計6名ですよ、米中尉。私はあと 4,5 日の間、ここを動けないものでしてね。
Yo, these guys have like some crazy ass names.
なぜ？
年寄りが出しゃばるなと怒られたのですよ。
あ
あ The man's pale visage twisted in confusion. The girl, on the other hand, seemed to understand what the priest had
ク
meant.
リストフ、あなたさっきレオンハルトって言ったわね。それはバルキュリアの抜け番かしら。
Lionheart is a girl?
ええ。あなた方も面識はあるでしょう。
I still don't know all their
お嬢さん、
names, but I
どうして
mean, it's not like
な
I've
かなか
seen
大
them
し
for
たもの
long
にな
enough
り
to
ました
figure
よ。
out everybody. So, Lionheart is a force to be reckoned with, huh?
お
Ooh. Fascinating, most fascinating. A force to be reckoned with, then by all means, listen. The priest, perhaps sensing the building uneasy atmosphere, continued with the
分かっ
authoritative
ているとは
tone.
思いますが、今黒煙卓に空きを作るわけにはいきません。それでは11年前の繰り返しです。
So if they have a vacancy, something is gonna happen? Something bad?
たとえ新参でも未熟者でも黄色い劣等であろうとも、彼女の存在はいるのですよ。わかります。
ええ、それはもう分かってるわよ、当然じゃない。相変わらず心配性ね。だからここはせっかく女同士なんだし、あの子のことは私に任せていただきません？
Huh?
いいじゃねえか。あんたもあんたで暇じゃねえだろ。これで残ってるのはシュピーネだけだが、あいつはいつ？
彼はもうしばらくかかるでしょう。
Sent him to look
何
into
それ
something.
気にな
Yo,
るな。
what do these guys want with Japan though right now?
おいマレウス。
I wonder if they're going to like try and extract souls on a grander scale or
言
something.
ったろ、別にいいじゃねえか。大公殿が腹黒いことやっててくれりゃ、こっちもいろいろ手間が省ける。俺らは掃除をしてればいいのさ。
掃除っていうか狩りでしょ。メルクリウスのクソ野郎が代理をよこしているんじゃなかったかしら。
Yo, I have no idea what's going on right now.
順位。副首領閣下に対する不敬な物言いはあまり感心しませんね。
The priest reproached the girl's choice of words. So her name is Melius. So what is the I'm assuming the vice commander is the black-haired one that I saw earlier. This Mercurius was clearly rather unpopular, but at the same time, it did not seem as if they were making light of him. So his name is Mercurius? Quite the opposite, in fact. They spoke of him with disgust, with even a hint of fear. This was a man so despised that even his comrades shunned his very existence. In any case,
副首領閣下は命役に従い、それを使わしているはずです。
him?
あなた方はまず彼を探してください。
レオンはあの子は協力してくれないの？
というか、この件に関しては彼女に一任しています。まあ、新兵に経験を積ませるという意味で。
なるほど。
了解。楽しくなりそうよ。
では、
The priest's tone shifted. The two new arrivals knew it was time to cease with the charades. The look in their eyes grew serious, grim. The very atmosphere around them took on a grave intensity. These were no mere thugs, no mad dogs of war lost in their own power. These were soldiers. The obsidian round table would tolerate no less, the
あら
priest
ゆる
spoke.
悪 あらゆる罪もあらゆる鎖も汝を縛れず、あらゆる禁忌に意味はない。汝の神、汝の主な汝をこの地へ導きたもう。息ある者は一人たりとも残さぬよう、生ある者は一人残らず捧げるよう。
Yo, why don't you just say kill every... Well, okay, well he did at the end. Leave none alive. Jeez, dude.
おののいてはならない。疑うことなどしてはならない。汝は騎士、
Legion of
獣
the
の軍で
Beast.
獣の総我を自負する者よ。誉れ高きその名を唱
ビルヘルム・エーレンブルグ。
エレンブルグ。
ルサルカ・マリーア・シュベーゲリン。
What are these names being spoken right now?
我らが名誉は忠誠なり。
Rusalka Maria's swag? Like, what? Yo, I don't know what's going on. I really don't. Like, I'm confused. I thought her name was like Marcellus or something, and then then this started happening. Yeah, Malaeus, and then they're throwing these names out now.
清掃13騎士団黒煙卓第3位、バレリア・トリファー、クリストフ・ローエングリーンの名において、ここに汝らを祝福する。
Valeria Trifa and Krista. Okay, so isn't the guy... Alright, so the guy on the right, I think his name is Christoph, and her name is apparently Valeria. I really hope that's the case. After brief, the ceremony had Kona closed. The three spoke in unison. Sigu Hairu Victoria. What just happened? What is going on right now? Does that mean chapter 1 is done or something? Like, I don't understand what's going on. Swastika 08? I'm so confused of what's going on right now. Chapter 1, the damned... I think that's the damn girl end. Oh, well, I believe that's the end of chapter 1. So I'm going to end it there. I don't have... Okay, so I have no idea what just happened. But it seemed like they are looking for somebody. They're looking for a guy, which may or may not be Ren, which is probably Ren. But I guess we'll figure that out later. And apparently this... Alright, so the guy... There was the priest... And then it was the guy on the right. His name is apparently Christoph. And then the short girl's name is apparently Valeria. That's all I got from that, basically. And they're looking for somebody, and they hate the vice commander. They despise him with all their being. But anyway, if you guys liked the video, make sure to slap that like button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Oh my gosh, I've done like 6 hours of reading out loud. Like, I'm gonna drink so much water after I'm done with this. Alright guys, peace.